Today we have a very special guest.
Oh, you do for a fact.
Hall of Famer, 4-time Super Bowl champion, back-to-back Super Bowl champion, which they don't do back-to-back no more. 2-time Super Bowl MVP, Terry Bradshaw.
Who is the better quarterback, Tom Brady or Terry Bradshaw?
Well, I am, of course.
Or as I like to call him, Uncle Terry.
Uncle T.
I'm Terry Bradshaw.
Wow.
You're naked in my room.
This is my naked room.
Today we're looking at the 1972 AFC Divisional Round Raiders versus the Steelers, the Immaculate Reception game.
It's the greatest play in the history of the NFL. Fired the ball. I hit the ground. I hear the roar of the crowd. I got a couple of Raiders on top of me. Well, excuse me for throwing a perfect pass. He caught it out of the air and ran for me.
Jack, don't be intimidated. Uncle Terry, he got...
That's why I love you, Uncle Terry.
Shut up.
Games with Names is a production of iHeartRadio. Welcome to Games with Names presented by WinBet. On today's episode, we are talking possibly one of the most famous plays of all time, the Immaculate Reception, Steelers versus the Raiders with Uncle Terry Bradshaw. One of the most infamous plays in NFL history. So many theories. Did it happen? Did it touch the ground? Was it called on? The rules? All of that. We get into it with Terry, or as I like to call him, Uncle Terry. We also get into Terry getting naked. Is that how he said it? He said naked. And naked with Matthew McConaughey. Wild story. I mean, the guy's got, he was telling us he's hanging out with Bradley Cooper. He's got wild Matthew McConaughey singing records,
Hollywood
horses.
John Madden?
John Madden?
Who knew?
He's got a good Madden story.
And we'll wrap it up with the Games with Names hotline. Hit me on the hotline.
Bang that line.
Bang it. Let's go, guys. Make sure you check out Games with Names on YouTube, Instagram, X, Snapchat, and TikTok at Games with Names. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Comment a game you want us to do. And remember, rate and
Review.
call in at 424-291-2290. Leave a message for some great game wrecks. You guys know the standard is the standard now. At the end of this, you will understand what that means. And for your own stories of iconic games that you love talking with your old friends, whatever, just call in. We've had some weird stuff, some fun stuff, some cool stuff. It's been fun. Games with Names is brought to you by WinBet. WinBet brings the excitement of Wynn Las Vegas and Encore Boston Harbor to your phone. Join WinBet today and bet with the official online gaming product from Wynn Resorts. Let's go. December 23rd, 1972, Three Rivers Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Down one with 22 seconds left. Fourth down from our own 40. Boy, do we need a miracle.
Terry Bradshaw scrambles to the right. He lets it rip.
And the rest is NFL history. This is the Immaculate Reception. Or down home, reception.
And welcome to Games with Names presented by WinBet. Today we have a very special guest.
Oh, you do for a fact.
We have Terry Bradshaw, or as I like to call him, Uncle Terry.
Uncle T.
And I'll get into that, but this guy, Hall of Famer, 4-time Super Bowl champion, back-to-back, 2 years off, back-to-back Super Bowl champion, which they don't do back-to-back no more. Number 1 overall pick from Louisiana Tech.
There you go.
Louisiana Tech,
Say
folks.
it with pride.
Number 1 pick.
Everybody's number 1 pick.
1970 NFL
go.
draft. Everyone just thinks, oh, Terry Bradshaw, this is a running football team. 1978 MVP of the league. 2-time Super Bowl MVP.
Done your work.
And
it's on the screen there. No wonder you're so good.
It's on the screen.
I was impressed there for a minute, and finally I looked up at the screen. Oh, keep going. I can read this.
Yeah. And my teammate, at Fox. Welcome to Games with Names, Uncle Terry.
Thanks, bub.
I appreciate you coming.
Oh, I wouldn't have turned this down. When you asked me, 2 months ago, I said, I'm in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't miss this for nothing. I was more curious than anything.
You know what? And how Uncle Terry just said that is exactly how he is. You know, I came into Fox early, and first day there, Terry put his arm around me, and he just felt like the uncle that was always pushing you, and he tests you now. He doesn't just, you know, he's got his whole persona where he's having fun and stuff, but he keeps you on. He keeps you on his game because you kind of test me whenever you're around.
Well, first of all, I have a good instinct for people. And normally my first instinct is pretty much spot on. And the minute that I met you, instead of calling you Julian, I called you Julian.
Yep.
But I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. And he's a former Patriot and with Brady. I watched him play. The catch he made against the Atlanta Falcons in Super Bowl, whatever.
Yeah, 50.
Yeah.
51.
Yeah, I was right there. I was 30 feet from it.
You gave us the trophy.
Yes. And the catch was, and I've told you this several times, best catch I've ever seen. Best catch I've ever. And if you put it and place it in the context of which it was made in the Super Bowl on a drive to tie the game up. Not to win it, to tie it up and I'd just seen Julio Jones make an amazing catch 4 feet from me. So I saw two of the greatest catches I've ever seen. And so when I had a chance, when you came on with Fox, I was so excited because I wanted to see what these Patriot people are all about. And you have not disappointed
You're making me blush. You're making me warm inside. I gotta
take your jacket off.
I gotta take this thing off. I gotta take this thing off. Hey, Uncle Terry, you're making me.
Hey, I was Michael Strahan before Michael Strahan.
He is. Uncle Terry making me blush,
God,
man.
Isn't that a beauty right there? Now, that right there, my friend.
Good-looking guy.
Sexy guy.
A good-looking guy.
Yeah,
No.
good.
Now you've been awesome, and I appreciate you, man. Because
Thank you.
It's you're the big dog. You guys, your group, let me, let's just put it in context for the people. They let me come in and watch the games with you guys. And I've learned so much just from being a fly on the wall. And I'll throw a couple words in here and there. You don't want to get in the way of the vets because I'm a rookie in this whole goddamn thing. And I know I'm the rookie.
Can you say that on your podcast? You can say bad words?
Rookie?
No, not rookie.
Oh, you can swear. Yeah, we can say
Really?
shit,
You can
fuck. We can say it all.
Ass.
Can we pray right now?
I'm Jewish. Okay.
I know.
We going to Abraham? We going to you? You want to go to your guy?
And Moses? We can do it all.
I mean, we are studying the book of the Exodus right now where we had Moses talks to the burning bush. It is that time of the year.
That's a Jewish thing right now?
Well, the Old Testament,
Yeah, I love the Old Testament. The only thing I had a problem with the Old Testament as I read it was how when God got angry, God got angry. He killed animals, babies, wiped them all out. And I just my wife and I were studying together, and we both got sick at our stomach because we're reading, and I'm just like, wow, man,
brutal.
Yeah, rough.
Tough people.
Rough. Yeah.
It's one thing to learn from.
Yeah.
I
love the book of Exodus.
Yeah, it's awesome. Hey.
Jeremiah, Hezekiah, Humadiah, Lemilala, all those books.
Well, let's forget about the books.
Let's move on.
The books. Today we're looking at the 1972 AFC divisional round Raiders versus the Steelers. Now, let's put it into context for the people. This is the first playoff game ever for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the whole merger situation. I mean, back in the championship days when they were around 1933. So they've won, but when it came down to it, this is their first playoff game against the Raiders.
Right.
Which the Raiders have.
It's their first playoff game of anything. They had 40-something years of wandering in the wilderness, if you want to put it in that context, and never really had. They'd had exciting teams, but never could win anything. It was one of those teams that when teams would play them and they would beat them, and everybody knew they were going to lose. The opposing team would say, "Gosh, boy, what a tough game. They're the physical," and and that was always their compliment. Oh, they're physical. They're hard to beat, but you always beat them.
Yeah.
And here we are. We had just beaten San Diego the week before to get into the playoffs.
Little Fouts action?
Was
Or
it
was that
Dan?
Willie? Was that?
I'm not sure who the quarterback was. It wouldn't have mattered. We still beat
Yeah,
them.
he's beat him.
Anyway, we go to Pittsburgh in this game, and it was bad. It's bad weather, frozen field, whatever. But we weren't supposed, we didn't know what we wanted to do,
Yeah.
Julian. And it's kind of like Green Bay going down to Dallas with this young team they have. It's like we've had a great year, and the Steelers have had a great year, and we finally make the playoffs. And the Raiders are the Raiders of the the 60s before the merger in '69, and so they're I played against these guys my rookie year, and George Blanton was MVP in the league, playing quarterback and leading the Raiders back from victory and kicking field goals to win games.
Oh, yeah.
But he was a straight-on kicker.
So-
He was MVP in the league. I remember standing up on the sideline my rookie year because I'd seen these guys on TV in the OAFL.
Yeah.
And I'm watching them, and they're just,
They got the persona. It's the
man,
Raider
they
culture.
Smoked cigars in the locker room.
Exactly. They were
And
crazy.
nobody was in shape. It just
The parties.
brutal. Yeah, exactly. And so I was just in awe of them my rookie year. 72, different way of looking at the Raiders, but we got them at home, and this tells you how the game has changed. In 72, they put one camera light in the locker room, one little camera light, so they could shine the light up so if we won, the cameras would come in. You'd be able to have lighting on the players. One camera light on a platform,
Yeah.
8x8. And I thought, wow, this is big.
Big game.
Hey, it's
playoff game.
See, it's little things that mean big things. And I was just like, if we win, they'll come in here. And then, it's like, God. Yeah. So that's how that whole thing was set up for me. God, can you believe it? We could win beat the Raiders,
And so we chose this game to talk to Terry about it. This is the Immaculate Reception game. Let's get into that. We'll get into everything right there that we're talking about, but we're just starting this thing off.
Now, are we, while we're filming this, it's just got a time frame? How long will
This has zero time frame.
Zero. So you can play this.
We could play. Well, we cut it up. We do little stuff here and there. We
Do you
throw
airbrush or Photoshop anything?
We'll do that for me. You look like a porcelain doll over it. I thought you were like a little Russian porcelain doll.
No.
Uncle
I
Terry?
don't want to be that, but if you could clean me up a little bit,
You lost like
appreciate
30 pounds during the year that I've met you.
I've lost 30 and got 30. I still like. First thing I said when I was showing horses 2 weeks ago, and they have a picture, they put it in this magazine, and first thing I said, "Look at my fat ass, babe." And she said, "I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. That's the first thing you looked at." I said, "Well, look at that." She said,
So why did we pick this game, the Immaculate Reception?
"Well, it's the most famous play still voted on by whomever, sports writers or coaches or fans, as the greatest play in the history of the NFL, which is, we're talking 100 years of history. So it's pretty amazing. Hard to believe it's still the number one play because, as I said, there are a lot of plays. But I think because of the history, Julian, of the Steelers and eventually the rivalry between the Raiders and the fact that it had so much controversy in it, the fact that the owner, Art Rooney, left the press box, went to the locker room to stand up and shake our hands afterwards, telling us, hey, great season, great season. He didn't even see the play.
Yeah.
He didn't know we won.
Yeah. Wow.
I guess for all of those reasons, that's the reason why.
So we're all super excited about this game. When we kind of came up and developed the idea of the show,
Who is this?
That's Kyler. That's Kyler, and that's Jack.
Yeah.
I'm a little intimidated. I mean, I got like the vet
Kyler.
in the locker room at the house right now.
I don't think it's good to be interrupting me while I'm talking, to be honest with you.
I'm right there with you.
Don't do that
If he's
again,
a rookie, I'm
Kyler.
even less of a rookie.
Tell him on the totem pole.
So with developing this show,
Yeah.
Games with Names, we were thinking of 2 games when we came up with this thing. These are the games that most iconic nicknames.
Right.
Immaculate Reception was one, Miracle on the Ice was the other, and we're so just excited that you're here to be able to do this game with you. So we're all just over the moon here. So we can't wait to really kick into this.
So welcome to the show, Jack. Don't be intimidated, Uncle Terry. You got a loud, you got a loud bark, but he ain't got much of a bite.
My bark has got a smile to it. I mean,
That's
nothing
why I love
like
you,
it.
Uncle Terry.
Shut up.
No. And you see how he is. You see how intimidating he is. And I was like the new guy on set. And I'm not even on their set. I'm in the AAA. You know, they're at the big show. You know, so I go.
Good, by the way.
Yeah, you guys. I'm in the AAA team, and I get to sometimes go in the locker room, and it's so apparent that you, Jimmy, Howie, Michael, have such a close group. Like
Very.
over the years. How did it become that close? Because you guys started this thing. You guys started Fox.
It started with Howie, Jimmy, and Howie, myself, and Jimmy. And then after 3 years, we all knew Jimmy was going back to coaching. He wouldn't say anything that had a bite to it. He was very protective, and so you just knew, you know. But he started. Then he left for 5 years and came back. So that's really been the foundation. Howie and I are basically the long-standing foundation because we started from scratch and we're still there. And then the show, when Jimmy came back from coaching Miami, he decided then to be a part of a pregame show and to be part of it, really part of it. In other words, football's over coaching-wise. Now he's going to be in television. And that's when Jimmy became so much fun, so loving, so kind, believe it or not, and a true partner. Howie and I built our relationship. It was not smooth sailing. It was always a little bit of a I don't want to say ego because we buried those egos, but we had differences of how to do things. And I'd been in television a long time before Howie came on board. And Howie and I literally worked ours out and became like brothers now. And did that fairly quickly. And so our understanding of how to do the show and Jimmy's understanding, and then JB, James Brown, who was with us and started, he was our Kurt Menefee. He left and went to CBS.
I worked with JB.
Yeah. And then Kurt came on board, and Kurt was the best thing that ever happened because Kurt's a football fan.
Yeah.
Kurt's a football man.
Yeah.
He knows football. Not that JB didn't, but JB nowhere near like Kurt. And then the funny thing about Michael Strahan, Michael was with the Giants, and I got a phone call in the offseason saying, hey, what would you think if we went after Michael Strahan and signed him to a contract to be on the pregame show? And I said, I interviewed Michael 3 times. I like him a lot. He's got a big personality. We had him on the show during the season. I think that'd be a great addition. Absolutely. So he called Howie, same thing. Called Jimmy, same thing. Everybody, come find out they'd already signed him. It wasn't whether or not we. I wish. Howie and I have talked about this. I wish we'd have known they'd already signed him. So we would have gone, are you kidding me? Strahan? Wow, that egomaniac, there's no. I wish we'd have known that so we could have just, and Fox would have gone, we've signed him.
Yeah.
Just imagine. It would have been fun. It would have been fun if we'd have known that, but obviously we didn't. But when Michael came on, we had Howie was our young guy, very studious player, very decorated player, Hall of Famer, actor, good-looking dude, big following. Jimmy, coach. You always got to have a coach, big personality, strong opinions. Then Michael brought in a brand new, fresh, young voice. And I've always been Uncle T.
Uncle T.
I've always been the guy that just sits there and kind of makes you laugh. And I kind of like watching the kids play in the yard, and I'm over there drinking coffee, going, all right, kids, it's time to come in this house now. You better get on in here and eat your dinner.
It's been so cool to, when you go in there and we're watching those games, you see how guys are.
Yes.
And you can see we were never in a locker room together, but you can see what kind of guy the guy was in the locker room.
Right.
Howie, he's very serious, like always on edge, like kind of like just surrounding, like look, he's always analyzing the surroundings.
Right.
And then, Terry comes in and he'll crack a joke. He'll slash a whip here and there, but he'll crack a joke just to kind of lighten the mood if things are going. And then
I normally, Julian, I like to sit back and be entertained.
Yeah.
I don't really try to add a whole, especially in the mornings.
Yeah.
Because they go off.
Yeah.
And I just sit back there and I'm entertained by it. I mean, and Howie, believe it or not, Howie is a funny dude.
Yeah, he is.
You're just
Howie's
not gonna see that.
No.
Unless I mess with him on the show or something. Because one time I told him, we're doing the show and Jimmy started something and Jimmy said something that's funny and Jimmy started laughing at what he said. So Michael starts laughing, I start laughing, and then Michael adds to Jimmy. And Michael's laughing at what Jimmy said, and Michael's laughing at what Michael said. Now I'm laughing at both of them because it's some funny stuff. And then it's my turn on television. We all know when we have to talk, which camera. So then I add something to what Michael said, to what Jimmy said. Now 3 of us are laughing, and we're beating the dads down because, seriously, we think we're Rodney Dangerfield. I mean, we think we have really entertained the millions out there. And then it goes to Howie, and Howie, with all this chaos going on, the outside linebacker, Bucky Buck, has got a sprained ankle, and he won't be starting, but Spinal Cord Johnson will be taking his place against the Buffalo Bills this week. Really? And I'm thinking, we're hooting and hollering, and he's talking about Spinal Cord Johnson and Buck. And I'm like, he couldn't even join in. So we go to commercial break, and I'm staring at him. So he turns and he looks at me and he goes, what? Like.
Yeah, I can see it.
What? I went, can't help it, can you? Help what? You're boring. And we started laughing, and nobody knew what we were laughing at. But I couldn't help myself. I'm just you got to bring this down. But that, in effect, what he did was funny.
Yeah. No, it's an awesome dynamic to watch, and it's been a pleasure just to get in and let you. You guys
like having you in because I think it's good for you. You got a pretty good crew over there, and I think it's good for you to see that we truly do care about one another.
It's a locker room.
Enjoy one another. We enjoy one another, and you better not come in there with something that's easy fodder because they're going to jump on it, man.
They will. They will.
It's brutal.
And I've learned so much on how, they watch the games and then they take what they take and what they look at and how they communicate to each other about what they're going to talk about going on to the camera. Like, that's been so helpful for me in my show.
You have to always remember, even while we're doing a podcast, I'm not talking to football players or NFL Hall of Famers or coaches or general managers or owners. I'm talking to America. I'm talking to the guy that has a hard job, trying to make ends meet, trying to take care of his family, provide food, save enough money to get a new car or save enough money to go on vacation. I'm talking to that guy. I'm not talking to anybody else. So you talk to that person. And they're the ones that look back and they're the ones that accept you. Now, if you talk above them and if you try to be smart and cool, and they're not going to like you. They're just flat not going to like you. And the camera, believe it or not, and I told my wife this, that camera captures who you are. You don't realize the 3 red, 4 red lights here, but that camera will tell America, you're not a nice guy, you're a phony. So you best be real. So you talk to the people. And I think a lot of times people that don't know television or football shows, and there are God knows hundreds of them now with all the. So where is the fresh information come from? It comes from us giving our perspective on something and not just absolutely filling it with stats.
Yeah.
I hate stats. Now they do play a role.
A nugget.
They do play a role, but I've tried every year, I think, more and more to not talk about anything that everybody knows.
talking about.
And it's almost impossible to do.
Yeah.
But at the age of 75, I can pretty much go wherever I want to go now. And and like Howie says, they'll go, what'd he say? What'd that mean? I don't know, but shit's funny, wasn't it?
Now that you said
Yeah.
that red light, when those lights are on,
Oh, yeah.
it shows you
Yeah.
who you're gonna be. What do you think about?
Do you remember your camera? You got a camera over there on
Oh,
that
yeah.
first one. You know where your camera is?
I do.
I've been doing television 43 years, and they're going. Because I'm talking here, and I'm supposed to be here.
I had a thing like that
Yeah.
this year. My first show, I'm looking at the camera. Well, I was looking at, you have your camera, and I'm looking at the wrong one. I was like, "Where's my camera?" I said it on air.
Actually, it's fun. Well, you know what? America loves that stuff.
Yeah.
Even at my age, and I'll say, oh, is that my camera there? I don't know what was over here, and then it's still live. And people back home are going, that's some funny shit right there.
Now,
He messed up.
Uncle Terry, what's America gonna think of Tom Brady when he gets up in there?
I don't know. Is Tom Brady going to be Tom Brady? Is he going to be somebody else? I don't know Tom Brady. Will Tom call the game? Or I guess he's doing games, right?
He's doing games.
Doing games. Will he certainly got the ability, but will he be able to break it down? Will he understand how to?
His IQ's there. It's more of
Yeah.
the EQ that we're talking about. Like, is he going to be able to relate? Like, I'm interested, you
Yes.
know, because the guys like it was hard for me to come on, and when you watch football, whenever I'm watching football, I'm looking at the negative things.
Really?
Yeah, I'm saying, all right, well, tackle got beat on that.
Now, I do know that when we're watching football, you're always critical of the wide receivers. I do know that. I picked up on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, well, like you
But I get it. That's what you know.
but that's what we were.
Taught.
That's what we went through for me 12 years. I got told the wrongs and why the play didn't work. If the play worked, that was expected.
Right.
So now you have to like transform your brain and not be the pessimistic type guy when you're on the camera talking like, oh, that's wrong.
That's a mistake. If you're pessimistic, then that's a mistake. You should.
well, I tickle into
I'm talking. Don't interrupt me.
Yes, sir.
Don't ever.
Yes, sir.
Being negative is not good
Yeah.
because then people don't like you
Yeah.
because they are always expecting negative.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it. I'm going to say wide receiver. You know the game. I know defense more than I know offense because as a quarterback back in the 70s, we studied defense.
Yeah.
And we read coverages. We weren't 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You know, we weren't progressions. We were readers. And so I was taught defense. I hardly ever had a man go in motion.
Yeah.
Ever. I very seldom, if ever, had single back set. Always two.
Yeah.
Tight end right, tight end left. Wide receivers never flop sides. They stayed on the same sides. We all read coverages together. We all read blitz together. I saw a blitz. They saw a blitz. Whether the route was inside or outside, predicated bump and run or off coverage where the route was going on blitz. I saw it. He saw it. If he messed up, interception. If I messed up, interception. So we had to read it the same way. That's how I was taught the game.
Yeah.
I know very little about multiple offenses like you do. But the camera, if you're negative all the time, that's not good.
I'm not saying I'm
You
negative.
said you were.
I'm just saying
You said you were negative.
it's the
Did
coaching.
he not say he was negative?
I think you're being kind of negative right now,
I
Terry.
thought you're very negative. You're very. I honestly didn't know you. You were so defensive. Gee.
It's not that.
Why's
It's
your
just,
face so?
I'm going in.
I can tell because you got a vein in your forehead. And right now, it is popped out. That's a dead giveaway, isn't it? A dead giveaway.
negative. I'm just negative.
Julian.
No, but it goes going back to, Brady was in New England for 22 years.
Yeah.
The guy's watching, and so when he watches film, he's probably thinking, I watched film with them, like, all right, well, we didn't do good here. Then this is the reason. You have to flip your brain when you get on TV, and you have to like not worry about what was wrong. You have to kind of show the great of what the plays are. So that's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
When with Brady, he's a perfectionist. So how is he going to break down the film when he's a competitive guy? You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you go into calling games, the research that he's going to have to do, it's going to be interesting to see
what happened,
how it translates.
And I understand. I don't know Tom, as I said. I've interviewed him a couple of times. But when Tony Romo came on board, he was guessing plays.
Yeah.
And everybody just jumped off on, oh, my God. And he was right a lot. Now he doesn't do that.
People got mad at him
Yeah. And
after.
But when you don't get it right,
Yeah.
you don't get it right, that's not good. But especially if you start getting a bunch of them wrong. If Tom comes in and Tom just do the play.
Yeah.
Now there's situations that set up, and Tom, just do the play. Why this and why that? We can all see he caught the ball. Now, why was that guy open? And this is where Brady will be
Great.
going here. When I do highlights, I try to do them I have to do them fast, but I also can see enough to know that, he got an inside release. There's no safety there, so it's wide open, and he straightened out the post and made it, skinny post,
Yeah.
what they call skinny. So I can see enough stuff that I can have some fun teaching just a little. Never throw a bubble screen on a guy that's in bump and run. They do it all the time. Why? They can't get out of the play. It's called from the sidelines.
Yeah.
Tom will see this and 10,000 things more than I did. I was not a student of the game.
Yeah.
There wasn't that much back then, nothing like now. So Tom will learn all of this in time if he puts the time in,
He will.
and he will. And the more comfortably, and America's got to like him.
Yeah.
They're going to love him, number one, just because he's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody is waiting,
Waiting.
and that's a lot of pressure on him, but who can handle it better than Brady?
That's what my dad said. Pressure is either make diamonds or bust your pipes. Which
Yeah.
one's it going to be?
Yeah. When I started broadcasting, I was in the booth doing games,
I remember. Yeah.
and it was horrible.
You got to like break down the game like you're playing.
You got to study now.
Yeah. Well, no, but it's different.
Well,
like-
now we have to do synopsises for all these games.
Yeah.
You got 20 seconds. What people don't realize, you better narrow your focus down to one point. Make that point in 20 seconds. Don't sit there and try to squeeze, because if you on our pregame show, sometimes Jimmy will go too long. I'll tell you what's funny is when you got something to say and you got it, and it's important, and you start, well, I don't know what they're going to do in Philadelphia. They were and we're all going. We start laughing, and they go, oh, man. And the Strahan, and we've all started. And Michael Strahan was funniest ever. He goes, well, they're going to, they want to try to do this, and he's got this move going up and this move going out. That's the one point I really wanted. And the second point, I forgot the second point. We just fall out laughing. But in television, it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay
It
to
humanizes
be
you.
humble. Be humble and be humbled with it.
Yeah.
And America goes, God, how many times do I screw up names on highlights? I screw up
Never.
names. Please.
Never, Uncle
You
Terry.
seen those names, those guys, those Hawaiians?
Yeah.
Whoo! Oh, I pray for a nickname. Bubba.
Tunga Talavola.
Oh, my God. I mean, I just butcher them. ETN, I like to have never learned.
ETN is hard.
ETN, when you look at it,
It doesn't
it's
look
not
like
ETN. No.
No.
So I mess up a lot, and people are saying, you got to get him off of highlights. And I think Fox is going, oh, them highlights are funny.
No, you're
But it's the point for Tom is, I'm sure he's watching. I'm sure he's observing, studying. You just don't want to be too mechanical. You just want to just let us see Tom. People want to know what Tom's got to say.
Yeah.
I know I do, and it's going to be fun to watch.
It's reps too. I bet you
Sure.
he'll get better as it
Oh,
goes.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's
Hey, man, how many times when that light comes on and you got to say, welcome to Philadelphia today. We got the Giants in town. And, boy, am I looking forward to seeing quarterback for the Giants. He's going to knock it out of the – well, not knock it out. He's quarterback, but he's going to – boy, it's going to be – hey, it's going to be a great game. And you just go, what the fuck? Where did that come from? What is that? I've done that so many, and that light comes on, that brain goes void.
yeah. It's
I mean, because you're taught television, you're taught. David Hill said, "Look at the camera, talk to the people." I'm not. It's easy for me to do that to you and to look over here. What's your name again? Kyler and Jack, right? It's easy for me to talk to these guys. But when you narrow your focus down to camera 2 and they say go, and you go, I mean, it happens. It's funny, man.
You know, I did Inside the NFL when it was live to tape, and I remember my first. They really don't give you any. You know, like my first day on the job.
There's nobody helping you.
They don't tell you
Go.
shit.
No.
They just say, "What do you think?"
Yeah.
Light went on, and thank God it was live to tape. I was like, you know.
It's so funny. We had Phil Simms on the CBS Today show, and we knew he wanted to go into television. So we had him over there, and the producer came in our ear and said, we're going to pretend like there is a blackout because of storms in some city, and we're going to go right into, well, we got a technical problem in Atlanta, and so we got more time here on the show. What we didn't, it was all nothing. So we got this in our ear to mess with Phil. I said, Phil, so before the show started today, you were telling me that you and Bill Parcells are having problems, that y'all don't get along at all in the meeting. Is that true? Oh, no, absolutely not. Well, it was true.
Yeah.
But it was not live or anything. He didn't know that. And man, you talk about funny. Just set him up and let him go, boy. So those things happen, and that's good times in TV.
He probably called old Parcells a communist. Old Mr. Sims loved dropping the communist. I worked with him. He goes, these guys are communists. I'm like, what the hell year is this, goddammit?
Phil says communist?
Yeah.
You know what I've noticed on our show today is that we went into the Immaculate Reception. I don't think we ever finished Is this part of the Immaculate Reception?
Well, this is a segment that we jump into right now, where we go back into
we're gonna go back.
We go back to 1972.
We're gonna
and we look at pop culture.
Okay, let's go. Where are we going?
So this segment, we go back into time, and we like to talk pop culture about like what was the era of when the game took place. Number one movie was Jeremiah Johnson in 1972. You remember that movie?
Yeah. I remember that.
Which
movie.
one was that?
That's what's his name? Robert
Redford.
Yeah. I was accused of looking somewhat like him, minus the really good beard and a full head of hair and the nice, the good looks and everything.
Do you know what a meme is, Terry?
Who?
A meme?
No, I don't know what a meme is.
So that's a viral meme. That shot right there.
As a meme?
Yeah, it's MEME. It's
seen
kind of
that.
like GIFs.
It's not meme.
No. But it's
what is it again? What is
the
meme?
internet captures little things of movies or pop culture or anything, and they use it for like an expression in text or something. So that right there
is a meme
from Jeremiah Johnson is like one of the most popular memes.
Really?
On the internet right now.
And why is that, I wonder? Because he's a good-looking dude?
Well, because people will say like, your friends are having a party and you guys are texting about it, and one of your friends just sends this picture.
Hold it. My friends don't text. All right? They don't text. We damn sure don't know what a meme is.
I'm sorry. So
right?
like
maybe it's your age group. You're not even 40 yet.
No.
Yeah, see there? You're dragging me into something that's going to make you look good and me look bad, and I don't appreciate it.
What are you talking about?
No, you know what I'm talking about. You did that meme thing just to piss me off.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you
Uncle
did.
Terry. Uncle Terry, I didn't.
Jack,
I'm just trying.
I'll take the bullet for this one.
I sent that meme this morning, by the way.
I know. Oh, did you?
Unironically.
I will say this. My kids are going to be impressed when I said, get that meme off.
Get that meme. Get out of here with that meme.
Get that meme off. I don't want to see that.
You say
there's another meme over here. Get that out of here.
That could be used as a meme as well.
Exactly. Doctor, that 4 right there.
That's Adam Vinatieri. He was born in 1972. That's what we're going over right now. The Godfather was delivered in 1972. Deliverance was in 19. You like those movies?
Love them. Yeah.
What's your
Godfather? I watched Godfather today, believe it or not.
Today?
Today.
That's a 3-hour movie. You just watch The Godfather in the AM?
Well, what I didn't see, I remembered. How's that? That means, isn't that like watching it?
It is.
Yeah.
And that's impressive, folks.
Yeah, I was watching it this morning. It's pretty cool. Love that movie. I actually sat. Remember the movie? Oh, you don't know this.
Yeah,
There's no way you know.
Which movie?
It was Robert Redford, The Sting. You ever see The Sting?
No.
Anybody?
I watched that a couple months ago.
Sting?
Paul Newman.
The Sting. Is that Paul? Is that a great movie?
Amazing.
I sat. There's a scene where the star Shaw, Robert Shaw, is eating roast beef and peas. All right, and he's wondering, where are you getting the money, Scotty? Where you getting the money, Scotty? And he's eating the peas. I was sitting behind the camera, and Paul and Robert Redford, when they were filming that scene, and I was standing back there, and I just met Robert Redford. I'm still playing football. This is 1970.
He's big?
70. No.
Oh, he's small?
No, not as big as you. No, small. Yeah, very small. Anyway, I'm standing behind him, and they're shooting this scene with Robert Shaw eating, and I'm seeing how the lighting is all fake. I mean, the room is all fake. I didn't know anything. Yeah, the set. I didn't know anything about this. This is so cool.
Louisiana boy over
Yeah,
there.
and I'm sitting
Hollywood.
there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm watching this scene. I mean, I'm from here to that gentleman over there, from Robert Shaw doing the dialogue, and Redford's off camera doing his lines. He did his close up, and then later, after I'd started doing movies, do my close up, and then call the master. Anyway, so he's shooting, and Redford is delivering the lines, and Shaw's going, "Are you?" Then he mess up. Set, reset, kept more peas in there, and he just kept messing up. Finally, he took the plate of peas and he threw it. Redford's pissed. He's mad. And I'm sitting back there going, whoa. And they had to take Robert Shaw off the set into another room. And the producer, the director's over there talking to him, trying to cool him down. I'm like, wow. So when it came out, I couldn't wait for that scene. And I was right there. I saw that scene.
Now, did that scene right there influence you into wanting to get into Hollywood? Because you've been in movies.
I've been in movies.
You've been a
Can I
failure to
act?
launch.
Really? Can I act?
I think you can.
No, I can't act.
I thought the Oscars got it messed up on failure to launch. That you should have been a supporting actor in the comedy.
I appreciate that.
The Naked Room?
I want to hear. Oh, the Naked Room is. The Naked Room's historical. Got to tell you.
Very.
I got to tell you a story. So Matthew McConaughey was voted sexiest guy alive that year,
And you're his dad.
and I'm his dad, and I'm the one who got naked in the movie. He didn't. I did. There's a reason for that. I got a nice white butt. All right. So my mother, God rest her, just passed away. So my mother, I called my mom, and she says, "Oh, baby, I see your movie's out. Oh, can't wait to go see it. Brother Robert," the preacher at the Baptist church, "he got us a bus. And after church today, all of us blue hairs are going to see the movie. And he's giving us a boxed lunch." And I'm going, "No."
Oh, boy.
Mom, you cannot go to the movie. "Well, why not?" "I'm naked." "You're naked?" "I'm naked." "No, you're not." "Yes, I am, Mom. I'm naked in the movie." "Don't go to the movie." "You would not do your mama that way." "Yes, I would, and I did." And she was so disappointed in
From
me.
church.
"I can't believe you did this to your mama. How are we going to walk around the neighborhood?" And I said, "Mom, it's just my white butt. I'm naked." You're never fully naked, because I don't think you can be fully naked. You got to have something on, and that's another story. A funny story, I might add.
What something are you talking about?
You got to have a sock on.
Yeah. Tube sock.
Yeah. And so the
Knee high.
Yeah, I wish. So that's so the director.
Little cutoff?
The director comes. Yeah, the director comes to me and he goes, "You can either be naked or you can wear some boxers." That's my last movie. I'm gonna go out with a bang, because nobody would expect me to get naked. I got a good image. I'm a wholesome guy, but I just thought, this is just too funny. You can't pass this opportunity up to get naked. And so I said, "I'll get naked." Nobody knew I made this decision. He says, "All right, go back, get out of your clothes and get your robe come back and got the lighting all set and we'll shoot the scene. I said, okay, so I'll get back. They take me back on a cart and I go in my trailer and I go into to the bedroom. Well, there's 3 socks laid out. All right?
Were they all different sizes?
Yeah, that's my point. Small.
Why are you looking
medium.
at me?
I'm talking
gave
to
me
you.
an eye.
No. I'm
Did you
talking-
give me an eye?
No.
I'll pull it out right now, Uncle Terry.
Would I know you're Jewish?
Certainly would. We keep it clean over here, Bubby.
Small, medium, large. So I'm sitting in there, and I'm like, you got to be kidding. I thought I was going to be, I didn't have a problem being naked. I've been in the locker room my whole life, walking around naked in front of, no biggie.
Yeah.
None, And I'm like, golly, I got to make a choice here. Well, it's obvious I got to go small. But I know that all the wardrobe people are outside the door waiting on me to put on my penis sock.
You should have traded.
Well, let me finish now. So I went, if I take the small, which, by the way, I'm being honest with myself, is too big. All right, it's too big. And the medium is really too big. And the large, like you said, I could have put my leg in that. It's how big this thing was. And I'm like, well, that'll be funny if I do that one. But I'm going to go with the medium and just double it a couple of times. Because I knew those gals were going to come in and go, which one did he get? Which one did he get?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I grabbed that medium and I went, you got to be kidding me. I got to put this thing on and gather everything and tie a little bow. Oh, humiliating. But I did it.
Yay.
I did it. And when I went back and shot the scene was Matthew coming up looking at me, the one you see. I did the scene in 3 takes. I got it in 3 takes. And then they said, it's Matthew's got to shoot his master. And I went, yeah. And they said, you go back and change. I said, okay. So I go back and put on my boxers. So I go back, put a robe on, put my boxer shorts on. I go back and we shoot the scene. I'm standing there with my boxer shorts. This is great for me because I'm through filming. I'm going home.
Yeah.
And I'm the last scene. So Matthew kind of boom, 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 boom. Matthew comes up and goes, it's not the same. I can't quite get the feel for this. So Dave comes over to me and says, you need to go put your penis sock back on. I ain't putting no penis sock back on. I said, you just tell McConaughey, walk up those steps. I gave him something. He walked up, I just dropped my drawers. And if you watch the movie, you'll see him go. He's doing all he can not to laugh, but I wasn't putting that sock back on. Now I thought when they told me it's just going to be the director and the camera guy, the sound guy, Matthew and me. There's a huge wall up, Julian. Huge wall. Well, okay, it's not very many people. There's 100 people on the other side of that wall, all part of production. I didn't think about that.
I've been duped like that too.
Man.
I went and did that ESPN body naked shoot where you
Really?
go naked.
No,
No,
you did that shoot?
I did that.
That upset me. I didn't get asked.
But that was my number one. Like, how many people are going to be there? You know what I mean? You want to be comfortable. And they go, oh, it's going to be a small set. There'll be 3-5 people.
Yeah.
I roll up there.
Yeah.
I'm bare knuckle Barry. I got my robe on. I go bare knuckle. There's like 15, 20 people sitting here like it's cold in this goddamn room.
Yeah,
It's cold.
you know what? It's just like, it's not fair.
What's not fair?
What's not fair is all these people being, check you out and go, he ain't so much.
Yeah. Can't have it all, okay, folks?
No, anyway,
you can't have it all.
No, it was funny though to know that even today, 16 years later, after that movie's been shot, that people still come up. Love the naked room. Love the naked room. I'm kind of like, that's good. I like that.
Man, let's jump into the sports world of 1972. Super Bowl champions, the 72 Dolphins, undefeated. Do
Beat us at home on a fake punt.
On a fake punt.
Fake punt. We pounded them that day. Everybody that played Miami thought they could beat Miami. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then everybody lost to Miami. And Larry Seipel on a 4th down ran 40-something yards with a fake punt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get sick of seeing them drinking champagne every year?
No, God bless those guys, man. Everybody in life, I would hope, has one great moment.
Yeah.
If we can all have one great moment, that's pretty good, isn't
Yeah.
it? Now, I've got 3 kids, and so obviously that's great. You know, I got a great wife, finally got a great wife. So it's all good stuff. But is there one defining moment in your life? And you could say, well, I got Super Bowls, I got a daughter, I've got whatever. So can we have one defining moment? Miami, that undefeated team, that is a masterful defining moment. And I just think it's cool for all those players.
Probably never be done. And the crazy thing
and
is,
you had a chance.
I wasn't on that team.
Oh, you weren't? Well,
I was
that's why
preemie.
they didn't do it.
No. The crazy thing is, what people don't realize, they had to go on the road.
It doesn't make sense.
Well,
That wouldn't
back
happen
in that
to-
day, right?
Yes,
they used
exactly.
to flip for it, or what did they do?
Well, if you played down there the last time, they have to come to you the next time.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's more impressive. They
Yeah.
had to do it on the road. They did
Yeah.
road dogs, went
And,
17.
get this, and Brian Greasy, Bob Greasy, had broken an ankle, and he had missed most of the year. And the backup quarterback, God, I can't think of his name now. Earl Morrill, who played for the Baltimore Colts, was the backup, and he had a phenomenal year, and he was pulled in our game. And Bob Greasy came in and led him to victory. But it was the 43-yard fake punt because it wasn't a call, fake punt, but he saw the lineup and took a chance, and 43 yards later or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
That's insane.
And I got knocked out on the opening drive. I drove the team down on the opening drive, scrambled in for a touchdown, got knocked out, left the game. And then it wouldn't happen today, but in the 4th quarter, I came back in, drove us on another touchdown. Didn't even know about it because I was
Yeah.
back then. You remember? Oh, yeah.
2-bar Terry.
Yeah.
He had 2
Oh, no,
bars.
yeah,
I was
2.
looking at some of those pictures, Uncle
Oh,
Terry.
it's brutal. Yeah, terrible.
The helmet technology probably wasn't there.
We had the suspension helmets
Yeah.
early in my career. Then we got the whatever those things are called.
It's so
And
awesome.
we didn't have speakers in our helmet.
No.
That's weird stuff. We didn't have
Wristbands.
we didn't have things floating down with a parrot.
No.
Bring you. It was just a whole different game.
What's life like for Terry Bradshaw in 1972? 2nd year in the league, 3rd year in the league, going to the playoffs, getting some
Huge.
success.
Huge. It was. I already told you they had the one camera in there or the lights in there.
What was life like for
was-
you? Not
it
just
was-
football.
It was a good year in the sense that I'm sure it was. I just can't remember. Although I lost my job a year or so later, but it was.
You came back?
Yeah, came back, but it was a good year. It was a good feeling. I wish I could capture a few of those emotionally, but it's too many years.
You know what? And that's probably when people ask me too, to like certain years when you didn't win it all. And yeah,
Right.
it was a great year, but you've had so many, we just talked about moments in your life, your kids, 4 Super Bowls. It's hard to pinpoint them all because you've done so many great things.
Well, you don't want to. Nothing can ever surpass the feeling of watching your child being born. Forget it. The rest is everything that I have in life is all because of football. I am not one that thinks, football. Pfft. No, I'm like football. Yes, because I am proud to have been a football player. Had I not been a football player, what would I have been? I would have probably been a welder because that was something I loved. Or I would have worked for someone and I would have been working on a farm or a farmer working for somebody. Those were my major interests. And so football has given me all these opportunities and I'm so proud of it. Yeah. I'm not like one of these guys that's, don't associate me. I'm more than a football player. Well, I'm only more than a football player because football gave me all this to be more of. opportunities that normally in our life. Look, you came out of Kent State. I mean, really, Kent, and I'm out of Louisiana Tech. You and I mean,
you were
really.
number one pick. I was a 7th rounder. A little
Doesn't
different.
matter.
A little
Doesn't
different,
matter.
but we'll take it.
No, but you were extremely successful as I was, and we got to play on these amazing teams and with these amazing players, man. And we've got stories. I wish I could remember more. I got so many stories because of all those years, that I played. I played 14. How many did you play?
12.
12. That's a good life.
Yeah. And I'm in that boat too, where I appreciate the game of football.
Absolutely.
And I'm one of those guys where I was given everything, just like you said, because of football. I'm a football player. I was put on this earth to play football.
Yes.
Now,
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I have other interests and stuff, and I'm getting, because of football, to see those avenues. I'm getting to go through those doors because of football, and I'm in that same boat, Uncle Terry. I love football, and I understand.
And
I'm sitting here talking to Terry Bradshaw on my goddamn couch because of football.
Right. And you should be thankful for that.
Very thankful. Very thankful. Hey,
but it is. I get a little upset when I hear certain superstars that are upset. Hey, I'm more. Come on, football was this. No. Football was everything. You wouldn't have any of this if it wasn't for this. You know, coming out of Shreveport, Louisiana, you coming out of
Redwood City.
Okay, there he is. And then we go where we go. You were a quarterback. Yeah. Then they saw in you a wide receiver, and I was a quarterback. I ended up calling all my plays in college. I called all my plays in pros, and not realizing that people don't call their plays. And so that is one of the things about my life that I get the biggest kick out of saying, I call my own plays. Well, Brady didn't call his own plays. He flipped a card, number 6. I never saw a card. What does it say on the card?
Yeah.
Say a play?
Oh, so yeah, there's like 3 plays. It has all the plays. If it's a wordy, if it's a high word play where you have 2 plays in one, that's just sometimes when they would have it, so they would see the back end play.
Yeah. See, I just sat there and looked at the marker. The placard would move down. I go look over there. What do y'all think? That 5 yards or 4? Looks like 5 to me. That'd be long yardage, won't it? What do y'all think we ought to run here? I mean, that was the way to play, man. Get in a huddle with your guys and scratch your head and go, shit, I've already called this play twice. Then stalwarts say, let me run a post option on the offside. I think this guy's set up for the post. I said, all right, let's run the same play. You do the post option. And Lynn, if I can squeeze that into you, if he stays back, I'll go to you on top of the dig. But if not, if he falls over, I'll go to you on the cue. John's all right. And then there it is, wide open.
Now,
That's fun. That's when you're in the huddle. And Franco says, hey, give me on that trap, man. This guy's doing, okay, let's run it. Now, I'd say I call plays, but we call plays.
Yeah.
Because I involved everybody.
Now, what is the offensive coordinator doing?
Didn't have one.
So the head coach?
Had a head coach. But
who's running the meetings when you guys are?
The running back coach and the receiver coach. I think Dick Hoke, Tom Moore, and Chuck Noll would sit down and put the offense together. And then it would be presented to us by Chuck a great deal with Moore and Hoke adding something. But when you run a play, viewers ought to know, when you run a play in football and it's not successful, but in practice it's set up to be successful. Yeah. So if it's not successful, it's not my fault. It's their fault. But I'm calling the plays, and so it's my fault for calling the play. So it was whenever things weren't going right, I'd say the running game's not working the way I wanted. I'd say, hey, Dick, we're doing this. I can see this and that. And then he says, well, let's try this, let's try that. I'll say, okay. Now this passing game, I'd say, Tom, we've run that on 3rd and short. They're shutting that down. They tried this and we tried that. I'm thinking maybe go out this. He says, okay, go that route, see what happens. And if that doesn't work, then we'll come back with that. I said, okay, that sounds good. And it would work or it wouldn't work. And then I'd say, okay, then the guys would say, I can't do this, I can't do that. One time I get in the huddle, Franco says, give me the ball on 92 tackle trap. And I said, okay, 92 tackle trap, touchdown.
Yeah.
That's just how I say I call the plays, but I had a whole lot of help in the huddle calling plays.
Now, did you see as you were in the league longer, your ability to call plays and see things? Did it
sure.
get better and better? I mean, that's crazy because there's an art. What people don't realize, there's an art to calling plays.
You call plays. Plays are like a beautiful movie. There's a beginning and there's an end, and there's a storyline, and there's stars in the storyline, and maybe it's a romance or maybe it's a drama, melodrama. So a movie is kind of like that, or going to a 4-part play, maybe an opera. I mean, it's all set up beautifully and everything is tied in. And it's like you learn if the dancers, which are the safeties, if they dance this way, then the linebackers have to dance that way. And if the corners are in this, or the inside technique, outside technique, are they squaring up, looking at them? There's little things you learn in the middle of the play. You go, ha, 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 ha. So you learn to pick up on all of this. And then when it's all said and done, it really got kind of easy. And there was sometimes when they would fool me with, they would give me a look, and then first time I ever saw 2-man, zone 2-man.
Yeah.
They set up, all right, in zone. They jammed, and they rode and ran, all right. Well, I had the tight end on a bow out.
Trap corner.
And then the corner pulls off. and I went, whoa. Now, where did this come from? Now, how did that happen? He's running, and then you go, oh, you dog, you got me.
Corners
got
can lie.
Me, yeah.
The corners can lie, but them safeties can't.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And so it was, you just pick up, it's basically that simple. Now, they make it really hard. I think today with all the formations that are set up, I think it's pretty much set 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, because there's so much shit to read. And when you had the 2 tight ends and you were doing all of this, I loved it, because I say 1,000 times during the year doing highlights, best route in football is a crossing route. It is my opinion. It's the one route that is fabulous. Clear them out, cross them, see who drops and bites. He's there, swing hook. What a tight end zone, sit down, man, run away, then a zone, then a seam, then the outside. You got this. Now you got a seam and a takeoff. Oh, baby. Yeah, I love it.
It's so cool to hear you talk about calling plays, and people don't understand that's
fun.
It's fun, but that is extremely hard to be able to manage. We talk about this whole quarterback operation, quarterback manager now with like the Brock Purdy's and all these guys that are just in there and they're operating at a high level.
Right.
They got some of the best minds in their head.
Yes.
Telling them to play. Like Terry doing that all himself.
They have 15 seconds to shut the mic off, going to the line of scrimmage, and they go to Lord, don't forget to look at this, don't forget to look at that.
There are a lot of reminders.
And I don't know how that offenses are run. I do know that when they ran what's called the West Coast, it was all, I call it the triangle, because it was flanker, tight end, a fullback or halfback or whatever. And it was always 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then over here you had a combination backside. And last week I actually talked football. The backside had to be 5 yards deeper so that if this was covered, by the time I turned to go here, it times up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just fun to watch that offense run, man. I went, how in the world do they do that? It's pretty cool. I think with these young kids, they're coached so well, Julian, that they're taught, if this happens, here's where you go. If this happens, here's where you go.
There's an answer for everything.
Yeah, there has to be.
And I just heard Tony Dungy talk about Belichick. It just hit me right now.
Yeah.
He said he said he taught me one thing when I got into coaching. He said, you always have to have an answer for everything. And we literally, and it brought it to me right here, because even if we had a play designed for a coverage and we didn't get that coverage, we always had a counter and we had an adjustment that happened because you had a different, like there's a rhyme and reason for everything you do, in these offenses.
I agree. And I think what happens today is that for every play, which is designed for zone or a type of zone or a man or a type of man, and all the printouts from says, here's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, here's what you get. But when you run that play, which is a zone play, and man shows up, everybody running that zone route runs a man route. They make their adjustments to man, and the quarterback has to see that too. And that to me would be the hardest thing for young quarterbacks to pick up on, even as a veteran quarterback.
The great offense. See, we'd have plays where you'd have a zone concept on the front side and a man concept on the back side. So if you got both, and it was one of those tricky situations where 60% of the time in this situation you're getting zone, but there was 30% of the time they got this, and then they also have a 6% mixer, like coverage that they would do. So you'd have like you get too wordy, and that's when you rely on being on the same page with guys if you're going to transfer in the middle of a play zone to man. So a lot of the times what they do for these quarterbacks is they put a zone concept on one area and they put the man. If you see it's man, go back to your man concept.
Right.
So those guys are running man no matter what. If it's zone, you go to the zone. You know what I mean?
Oh, I can see that. And, and the strength of the formation always dictates more people covering it.
Yeah.
So the man concept is really smart. I've never done that.
Yeah.
But that's first time I've heard that, but I'm thinking, hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
You got your man beaters and your zone beaters,
Exactly.
but there's these fucking defensive coaches are smart, man. They disguise, and everyone sees all these motions and these formation indicators pre-snap now.
Yeah.
Like now the defenses know what you're doing and they're dicking you. They'll put a linebacker out there and play Tampa 2 with the linebacker doing the flat zone defend.
Yeah, it's
a crate.
it's like I always say, I don't know, but if he's open, I'm chunking it.
Yep.
I don't know why he's open and really don't care. I always tell people all the time, well, if he's open, just throw it to him.
Yeah.
Because in reading formations, number one could actually be, number two could be one, or three could be one, and two is two, and one is three, just by reading. That in itself, I mean, that's why I threw 210 interceptions. I mean, you drive, what the shit is all that?
Chuck and pray, baby.
You're going to get hit. Get rid of it. Apologize.
Never apologize.
I know,
Just
man.
sling
But it
that
is,
thing.
I mean, golly.
We'll be right back after this quick break. Games with Names is brought to you by my friends at WinBet. WinBet is bringing the excitement of Win Las Vegas and Encore Boston Harbor to online sports betting. Whether you're a recreational player or a serious handicapper, WinBet is your ticket to every exciting wager, from straight-up bets to parlays, teasers, or any prop bet you can dream up. All players have access to win rewards, and you can redeem them for resort credits in Las Vegas and Boston. Sign up today and get in the game online, or visit Boston's Sportsbook at Encore Boston Harbor. There's no better way to enjoy sports with a little extra winnings in your pocket. Betting is a team sport. Join the WinBet team and bet with the best.
Must be 21 or older and present in the state where play through WinBet is available. Terms and conditions at winbet.com. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
So Jackie, let's set the stage for the Oakland Raiders. Let's get into the game.
More memes?
No more memes this episode.
No more memes.
I like memes.
Nah. You got to use one in your text tonight.
Got it.
Let's run through these Raiders offense or team real quick. This was the fourth year under John Madden. The first year, Al Davis was the sole owner. 10-3, won the AFC West. High-flying offense, top 10 defense. 11 Hall of Famers on this team.
Wow.
Fred Biletnikoff, George Blanda, Bob Brown, Willie Brown, Al Davis, John Madden, Jim Otto, Gene Upshaw, Ken Stabler backing up Daryl LaMonica.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a chalk full of Hall of Famer Raider team.
Yeah, both sides, 11 total?
No, total. Sorry. Counting owners, coaches, and players.
Both sides or just the Raiders?
Just the Raiders.
Just
we
the Raiders.
had
It's just
11.
the Raiders.
We'll get into there.
Okay.
We'll get in there.
I'm looking at Kenny because Kenny Stabler's the backup, and Kenny actually in the game, Immaculate Reception, Kenny came in and ran for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like 30, 40-yard touchdown on man coverage.
We watched it.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, so
Went to the left and ran it in.
When we were doing the research for this, it's so crazy that's how people were delivered football back then. A week later. So we were talking about that, where you guys would play this game and they would cut it up and then they would present it to people on TV like 4 or 5 days later. That's nuts, huh?
Well, we only had what'd you have back then in the 70s? How many tape machines? 4? If 4? I mean, think about it. Now you got 20-something, so you could. Now we're high def. God forbid we miss a play today because it's high def. Slow it down. Hey, give me a microscope, Fred. Yep, touch the ground, incomplete.
Incomplete.
Holy God. I mean, it is.
I think about that all the time too.
Wow.
When you watch football now, the amount of plays that would have been probably taken away back in the past.
Oh, for sure.
Because there's so many times where the foot's on the line and it's some fucking old guy that's the referee.
Hey.
It's in.
How about the Immaculate Reception? Who touched it last?
And how about that rule? How stupid is that rule? We'll get into that. But
Yeah, but I mean, you see rules today, and I wouldn't want to be a ref. I wouldn't want to be someone making these calls. And I'm telling you, I ran into a ref the other day flying from L.A. to Dallas Sunday night, Monday morning. And I'm riding with this ref, and we're talking. I said, I'm going to tell you right now, I know you guys get some grief, but boy, your job is hard.
Very.
And you make these calls. You have to make them immediately. You can't go, the crowd's going crazy. Hey, chunk that flag out there. You got to do it. So I have a great deal of respect for those referees. And when they go back, they've got most of the time, Julian, they're right.
that's what I'm so amazed.
So quick, yeah.
Like, I bitch at the refs, and we all bitch about the refs because it's the refs. But if you see the way they spot these balls, they get a lot of these goddamn calls, and it's got to be hard to be them because we're all looking for that one they don't make. And you slow everything down, there's a hold on everything.
Well, let's go to this angle. And there's a football and a hand sticking in. Well, go to the other angle. That's the high over angle. No, that's not. Let's go to the other side. And you know what? I guess it's because of gambling that we have to have all the answers because people
Big money.
They're giving up 3 points and they're favored by 5 and so on and so forth. So I guess that's a lot of it. I get the biggest kick because I think because of the Colts and the Patriots and two great quarterbacks, those are the two teams that are always in the AFC championship game. And that's must-see football. And you don't want to see a team win on a fluke, I guess. And so that's where these games are highly scrutinized, man. When you Steelers, Raiders, highly scrutinized. And so I get it. I happen to be one that loves controversy.
Yeah.
And I think any game between two teams that are good and there's screaming controversy, the Swearinger call against Lynn Swann in Super Bowl X.
Yeah.
All he did was Lynn cut inside and tripped over his feet. Back then, flag. First down for us, went on to score.
Yeah.
Should have been punting.
Yeah.
Rules change. You know, all the jamming and them running and beating up on receivers done by Mel Blount. Tex Ram with the Cowboys fouled, it went crazy, and they got the rule in that after 5 yards, hands off.
Yeah.
But that's good. Back then, that's so good for football because the Cowboys hated the Steelers, the Raiders hated us because of obvious reasons, and it just made for must-watch television.
Speaking of a guy that probably hates the refs, you got any stories about John Madden, R.I.P.?
Yeah.
Especially with this game. He hated the refs after this game.
Well,
What about Coach Madden? You got anything about Coach Madden?
when he was at CBS and Fox, and I was with both networks with him, we had no communication. It was best that I stay away.
He was really mad still to that day.
I don't think he ever, I think so. I think that was his biggest. John went to his grave thinking that he got hosed by Pittsburgh and the refs, and who's to say he didn't?
Yeah.
You know? But like I said, that's what made the next match against him good.
Man. Yeah, he
Who knows?
He
You know?
he denied when they did the Immaculate Reception documentary. He wouldn't talk about it. He said no. NFL Films contacted him. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. He was really mad about that.
Well, he wouldn't have won anyway. It's like when I tell the Cowboys, whether it's right or wrong, you get tired as a player. You get tired of hearing it. Okay, so you got screwed. Listen, you go through a football season. You can't tell me when you were 19-0 or whatever it was, and you didn't get some good breaks along the way. You didn't get a call your way. Your players didn't get hurt, or if they did, they weren't main players. And so that's how a season goes.
That's a season.
That's how a season goes, and you just get the right end. You get the right. You get the long straw every time, never the short straw, and that's kind of the way that game was, and the Swearinger call. You get calls, maybe that you didn't deserve them, but you go on and win. I threw 3 interceptions in Super Bowl 14. I couldn't come up with anything, and just lost. And they just knew everything I was doing. I'm just like, what are they in the huddle, And then finally we pull out a play that they'd never seen.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
We win the game. So you never know, but that's how a season is, man.
And that
you get those breaks that maybe you just don't deserve them, but you get them.
That's why we always say the ball has to bounce your way to win that damn Super Bowl. And there's times where the best team doesn't always win, but the ball was bouncing out that other team's way.
Hey, you are so right. And I sat right there on the sideline when you made that catch, and you talk about bouncing of that. And I'm saying that because you're here, because I've said this to you too many times. But your wherewithal being hit like that and upside down and grabbing and putting that hand under one of the greatest moments I've ever seen in football, especially in a game like that, the Super Bowl. Amazing. But you had no reason making that catch. You were banged up, man. I mean, but you did, and there you have it. That's another one.
2-man. We talked about it earlier. That's the coverage. 2-man. Jackie, why don't you set the stage for these Pittsburgh Steelers?
Let's run through this one real quick. Another team jam-packed with guys that got busts in Canton. Mel Blount, Terry Bradshaw, Jack Ham, Franco Harris, Art Rooney, Dan Rooney, Chuck Noll, Mean Joe Greene. Win 11-3.
Is he that mean? Was he really mean?
Yeah.
He's mean?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He, against Cleveland, one year took the helmet off. I believe it was Babb, the center, and like Samson with the jawbone of an ass, wiped him out. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they couldn't control him. And they had the Browns flying. We were in Cleveland. And they're scattering. He took that helmet, threw it in the stands, ran back, grabbed the football, went to the end, threw it in the stands. And I'm sitting on the sideline and Chuck didn't know. Chuck not doing it. Everybody's just like, this guy's, he's on his rampage right now. Let him finish wiping them out, and then it was, to this day, I don't think anybody calls him Mean Joe Greene but me, and he hates it when I do it, but I do it just to piss him off.
Now, he did that in Cleveland?
Yes.
Do you think Myles Garrett got inspired to take off someone else?
I don't know. I know one thing.
Hit Mason Rudolph.
One thing about, now I'll tell you the thing about Joe. Joe's a gentleman now.
Yeah.
He wasn't then. And we're playing Denver, and the center kept holding Joe. And Joe said, look, man, you do this again. And he said, I'm going to settle this. Well, he did. He held him again right in the nuts. Carried him up. Yeah.
That's
Well,
football.
of course, he got kicked out again, but he made his point, right?
Worth it.
He made his point. God, can you imagine?
Were people giving him shit for that commercial that he did for Coke?
Well, that Coca-Cola commercial changed his image because you saw a side of him. He's a good-looking man.
Yeah.
And a giant of a man. And through that kid, and the women are out there, and the mothers are going, oh, my God. And he's like that right now. He's the sweetest guy in the world.
Yeah.
But back when he was possessed, he was a different guy.
Jeez. Now, we just listed the countless
Right.
Hall of Famers on
Right.
this
A
team.
bunch of them.
Who's the unsung hero of the team? Like we always had some kind of guy, like the James Whites, the Rob
Got it. I hear you.
Ninkoviches. Who's that unsung hero for these teams that didn't get the play?
Probably Ernie Holmes at tackle.
Ernie Holmes.
Amazing. Ernie Holmes. Dwight Mad Dog White right in. Mike Wagner. Oh, man. Smart. I mean, we got Rocky Blyer. I mean, I could name, there's a bunch of Hall of Fame twos, that are in there. L.C. Greenwood at left end.
Oh, yeah.
Hollywood Bags was his nickname.
Why'd they call him Hollywood Bags? can't call him Hollywood.
He always had yellow shoes on, and he was just cool dude, man, with his deep voice.
There's always that one. That's our Brandon Spikes. Remember Brandon Spikes?
Yeah, I do.
Brandon Spikes was like that.
Yeah.
Big ass dude that just
Yeah.
wose cool things. That was a murder on the field.
Blonde Bomber.
Was that your nickname, the Blonde Bomber?
Dwight White, Mad Dog. You know, back in the 70s, defensive ends were 260.
Yeah.
270. Linebackers, 225, 230.
Sounds
big.
like now.
Yeah, but big. And Dwight White, in practice one day, I threw a pass, and for some reason, he mad at John Cobra or something. He came through, and he decked me. Knocked me back over, ass kettle, helmet flew off.
Practice.
Well, now we practiced in full pads.
Yeah.
I found the football, and I got up. Boom. I threw it. I tried to kill him. Nobody, Chuck Noll, he's probably, he didn't mind it, but I have the shit knocked out of me. Boy, I was pissed. He came over, and I said, let me tell you something, Mad Dog. You may lose with me, but you'll never win without me. You got that? And I walked over. I was steaming. I took my helmet off. Y'all sit on your helmets in practice? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I sat on my helmet, and I'm over there, and I'm mad because nobody got in a fight. Nobody fought for me. Maybe that's it.
Feelings
Maybe
hurt.
nobody gave a shit. I don't know. But I'm over by myself, and here comes Mad Dog. He comes over, and he kind of had that high pitch. Blonde Bomber! What was that? Give me that saying. What was that saying? What are you talking about? You know what that saying? You threw the ball. What you said? What? What was that you said? Huh? And he had his tooth missing. I said, I don't know what you're talking. Yeah, I know you said something about we're gonna win, maybe lose. I said, and I got to thinking, what did I say? So he sat down. Next thing I know, it's like, hey, pull up a chair, pull up a helmet. So we started going. Okay, you knocked me down. I got pissed. I hit you with the football. You came at me. I pointed at you. And what did I say? He said something about you're going to win with me. I said, no. You may lose with me. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You're going to lose with me. No, I'm not going to lose with you. You may lose with me. Then what? And then we sat over there. And it took us 30 minutes. And we go, but you'll never win without me. That's it. Yeah. Oh, I like that. I said, well, I like it too. That's an original.
Yeah.
And to this day, that was always, now, of course, he's passed away, God bless him. Joe Greene will say, Bomber said, you may lose with me, but you'll never win without me. And that kind of became the theme of their defense. They used to use it all the time.
You know what? Is that not football right there?
Oh, so good.
You guys get in a fight.
Yeah.
And then you
No,
guys
it wasn't a
sit
fight.
there.
Hold it on that.
Or-
It wasn't no fight.
Or you guys, there's something that happened.
There's a disagreement.
That same thing happened to me and Gilmore. Remember Stephon Gilmore? We just signed him. And I was pissed. They gave him $14 million. I'm over here. We just won a Super Bowl. We're on our second. We got Super Bowls. Like, they paid this guy $14 million. We've been routing him
Over
up.
how many years?
It was 14 a year.
What?
Yeah. When Stephon Gilmore came to the Pats, he was the highest paid corner, which he was a fucking stud and made me a lot better. But I was pissed the first day he came in. He was a Buffalo Bill. I wanted to show him first day of pads. This is how we fucking practice here. He kind of hems me up on a flag route. We get into it. I take his helmet off. I start punching him. Belichick goes, you two, get the fuck off the field. Hit the showers.
Really?
So we have to, it's first day of pads.
You got to go shower with the guy.
So it was the first fucking period. Uncle Terry, it was the first period.
I'd have got a water hose outside. Wash my...
But just like you and your teammate, you guys were, we start walking back and we're pissed off at each other. And all of a sudden, we get in the locker room and, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where.
Why didn't you go back out to practice?
Because they told us to get out, which it was the best. If I would have known that, I would have done that so many more times. Get out of practice, training camp practice, first day of pads, get the fucking. I started doing that. I got smartened up. But
that's. I've got so many stories about stuff like most of them you can't tell.
You can't
tell them.
Can't tell them.
Just God. And I never, I had a chance to do a book here about a year ago, year and a half. And I thought, oh boy, I started thinking about all the chapters and how this is going to be a really fun, exciting, eye-opening book. And I got to thinking, no, it isn't. It's not going to be good at all because I'm not going to say this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I said, that's it. Cancel.
Some things left in between the lines.
It's,
Some things left in between the lines.
Just leave it there.
So let's go to the next segment. It's time for the Bounty Wingman question. Bring out the wings.
Joe Greene.
Mean Joe Greene.
He was my wing guy.
He's your wingman?
Yeah.
You don't have to have one, but if you want a wing, you're more than welcome to have a wing.
Are they dry or are they wet?
These are buffalo. These are
Buffalo
buffalo wings. But you know for a fact everyone's
Greene.
favorite wingman is
Mine was-
the Bounty paper towel because you can't have football without wings and you can't have wings without football.
Bounty. This is amazing. Let me guess. Sponsor?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Don't
Uncle
you
Terry?
lie to me.
Uncle Terry. Of course it's a sponsor. I mean, there's paper towels everywhere here. You need
Excuse me 1 second. I love Bounty Wing. Hello, America. Look, if you're at home and your kid spills some stuff, you get those tabletops in your kitchen. You probably got here the very marble top. Marble tops don't wipe up good. But with Bounty, the marble top, whoosh, one wipe over there and you got it all up. I'm telling you, I love Bounty.
And for people in the 1970s that had marble tops, you could use that.
Hey,
or
hold it,
nowadays,
hold it.
with granite tops, you could use Bounty as well.
Hold it. Granite or marble, which is best?
The wingman question, though, Uncle Terry.
Yes, what?
Who's your best wingman?
I told you.
Mean Joe Greene?
Yeah, for sure.
These are good.
Mean Joe Greene for sure. I didn't know I had a wingman, but when the press was all over me, Joe Greene would put them in their place. Yeah.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
Mean Joe Greene. It's good. You like a little heat?
Yeah. Who are these by? They're a sponsor? The
No.
Wing? Well, who are they? Who made them?
We can't say
Why not?
because it conflicts with Bounty. This is
doesn't
Bounty
make-
segment,
Bounty
baby.
doesn't make chicken.
But we want everything to be about Bounty. Where are the
It's
chicken
all
wings
about
from?
Bounty. I got to wipe this off my face with some of the finest paper towels.
Very reusable, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Very reusable.
Yeah. That's good shit right
Bounty
there.
and wings. That's our favorite. Is it a good wing?
Yeah. Who makes these?
Who made them? Hurricane Wings.
Hello, America TV here. I'm here with my man, Julian Edelman.
I thought it's Julian.
No, I'm going to give you Julian, right?
Uh-huh.
You're in the mood for some wings, hot chicken wings, dry or wet. You got to go to Hurricane Wings right out here in L.A. We don't have them back in Dallas.
They're good.
Oh, that's good stuff right
It
there.
is a good wing.
Yeah. That's good. What do you do to the bones?
Throw that bad boy right there.
Oh, man, that's your spit cut?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Terry,
God.
you played in
Get outta
1970.
here. I'm not,
Come on, Uncle Terry.
I used to chew tobacco.
Do you?
I made a mistake of spitting into a Coca-Cola can.
Who drank it?
My girls. Hey,
This man a bounty.
I only laugh because I've done that too.
oh my God.
All right, we're done with the bounty wing.
I never laughed so hard.
Let's lead us up to this game, Jackie.
All right, little context going into this one. The Raiders closed the season on a 6-game win streak. Steelers closed it out 5-1. This was the second meeting of these guys. 14 weeks earlier, they met in week one.
earlier.
We beat them 34-28. Terry rushed for 2 touchdowns.
2 tugs.
And this was the first time making the playoffs for the Steelers since 1947.
1947.
Wow.
Not a math guy, but that seems like 30 years.
That's like a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time. What do you remember about going into this game? Were you nervous because of that whole stigma of we've never been to the playoffs, or was it a thing?
I think I was more excited that we had them at home. I knew how hard the game would be. So as a player, I had to, I don't know how you were, but when the Sunday game was over, Sunday game coming up was already on my mind driving home.
Yep.
I never during football season, I never could park a day off.
No.
I couldn't. And I think that's pretty common. But I was automatically thinking, boy, I'm guessing now. I'm just thinking, knowing how I was, it's going to be a tough game. They're a tough defense, so on and so forth. Nervous? Yeah, for sure I was nervous, absolutely. Not knowing how we were going to beat these guys and knowing that we were a running football team and they were good at stopping the run.
Yeah.
Where the surprise is going to be, and the surprise was the weather, horrible weather. And then, of course, as you know, and I'll let you ask the questions as you show, but I don't think I was excited at all. I think I was nervous.
Yeah.
There's a difference to me. I would rather be excited than nervous. Nervous means that I'm looking at the safety right there, but he's really not right there. He's really over there.
Yeah.
So you have to get past that so you get that vision down to that. It's blurry, blurry, blurry. Now it's one. And I think nervousness messes with you more. And I think one of the things I learned early in my career was how to manage that so I could settle myself down.
I used to get real nervous before games.
Yeah.
And I like to think because you cared so much. And
of course you care.
And also with football, you could have the best week of practice, but it's the ultimate team game.
But it's set up for you.
Yeah.
Practice is set up. Okay, they're going to do zone 2 man with this right there. Here's the plays. Let's run them. Let's run them. It's all set up.
Exactly. So you go in prepared, and you would think that makes your nervousness go away, but you learn over time that it's such a team sport that you could go out and have a really good game, but you could still lose, and it wouldn't get the satisfaction if you still So there's always something that happens.
Your personal performance
never mattered.
Your personal performance does give you some cushion to fall on because it's just not. If I threw for 500 yards in that game right there and we lost, I would go, God, we lost a playoff game. Are you kidding me? Then I'd go, okay, I threw for 500 yards. But I'd always go, but we lost.
Yep.
So I'd never get past we lost. So a small buffer, but not a good one. The main thing as a quarterback, as I tell everybody, and this game's a classic example, did we deserve to win? Were the rules correct? Did we break who knows? I mean, it's why it's voted the best play. But the thing is, I threw for 80 yards maybe in that game? Maybe 80 yards. Maybe we rushed for 120. I don't know what the stats were. They couldn't have been that good. I'm looking up here.
You had 175.
Oh, look.
175.
Oh, I threw for 144 yards. Well, that'll keep you up all night. Look at those stats right there, my friend.
That was the net. You threw for 175.
That's not the first quarter.
I got here 11 for 25, 175 yards, a touchdown, and an interception.
Yeah, not good. But the point, how many did we rush for? How many
you had
108 rushing yards.
Okay, see, not much.
And they rushed for 138.
Yeah, not much. And the thing about that game was it's just back and forth. I mean, America today would turn a game off back then because it's just nothing. Because the AFL, when they merged in '69, that's where the fun was. If I were coming out, I would have wanted to go to the AFL where you throw the ball 40 times a game. We're in the NFL. I mean, we are in the AFL now because passing the football and scoring points moves the dial as far as ratings. We want to see 50 touchdowns by a quarterback. We want to see Jordan Love playing this week and him having 32 touchdowns. And we want to see all that's fun stuff, man. And we dial up to watch the Miami Dolphins play and Patrick Mahomes. That was the 60s football in the AFL. So when we translated into the NFL and the merger, it still took on the NFL's run, play great defense. Run, play great defense. And this game was a classic case of two great teams, one OAF NFL and the other one the great AFL Raiders in the merger.
I completely
this was
disagree.
the beginning. Okay, good.
I disagree.
I am your guest, and if I say that's the way it is, that's the way it is.
I
guest is
I
always
disagree
right.
with
Okay.
why people would
watch?
change. Yeah, why would watch?
Okay.
Because back then, defense, like a 0-0 game in the 70s meant the defense was probably knocking the shit out of people.
Exactly.
Guys were scared. Like now, if it's a 0-0, you can't hit nobody in the game. No. You can't do anything. So that just means it's terrible.
Who won 9-0 2 weeks ago? Was that at Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
But that's because,
I mean, 9.
Without a doubt.
Really, I'm a fan. I'm a spectator. You know, I'm sitting there going 9-0. It's like when a guy pitches a perfect game or a no hitter. You want to watch a game where nobody gets a hit? I don't.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Well, how would I know about the long ball?
No, so it's a back. I'm just saying that, you know, back in these days, it's 0-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
Was
that the score?
That's what it was at half. You know, what do you guys go in at halftime when it's 0-0?
Julian, how can I possibly answer that question? I was 24 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you an answer. I remember Chuck Noll gave the best speech he ever gave in his life.
Was he a speech guy?
No, that's why I'm making it up.
Yeah. Well, because
he didn't have said a word.
But I think
Chuck just basically, because both teams got together and I'd get on the blackboard with the coaches, offensive coaches, and here's what they're doing, and so they'd have something, and we'd be there doing, and then the defense was there, and then Chuck would give us something, but he was not a rah, never, ever. I can't imagine Belichick being that either. He just he would say, if we stop the run in the second half, we win the football game. Offense, we just need one good drive. You got it? And that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
See, I think, and I just, that people are going to want to hear what it was like back in your day.
Right.
Where Terry's on the whiteboard with the offense. The defense is in the other side of the locker room meeting with the defense, which is very similar to how it's done nowadays. You know, the halftime's 12 minutes in a regular season, regular game. Super Bowl, it's 22 minutes. So the first 3 minutes when we would get in would be like, we all just sit there, we all get our breath, the coaches go meet and discuss on what they're going to present to us. And then we would get over and we would go over what they're doing, what we're doing, what we're scrapping. And we always had information. It was never a rah-rah kind of thing in my locker room either. And then Bill at the end with the last 2 minutes would give his keys on what we had to do to win. So it was very similar to that. A coach's job is not to give you rah-rah. A coach's job is to give you information. I want the info. Yeah. Okay, I don't want to hear you need to do this. I want to know on this specific play, is he giving me inside leverage, outside leverage? Why are they doing this?
Right.
And that's what we got at halftime.
I never could understand. I never was a captain.
Yeah.
I wasn't a captain in high school. I wasn't a captain in college. And I wasn't a captain in the NFL. And I'm glad. I don't have time to go and pick everybody up.
Yeah.
You know, I see these guys. I remember, what was the great linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens?
Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis. I'm like, I don't get all that. That's wasted energy. Or as I like to call it, false chatter.
Yeah.
I mean, after that, you got to, if I'm doing what Ray did, I'm like, I got to take a break.
Yeah.
Take me out. I never got that. And all my coaches I've ever had were so fundamentally sound, principled. It was all serious. And that's the way I approach. I don't have time to be rah-rah. I don't want to scream it. I don't want to go scream at Lynn Swann, because he'll turn around and scream back and say, well, you dickhead, you threw it behind me. How the hell am I supposed to? And you know what? He's right.
Yeah.
I used to apologize to these guys. But then I got to thinking about it. If I'd have been accurate, none of them would have made the Hall of Fame. Am I right? I mean, you gotta let them show off what they can do, and I did that intentionally. I just want America to know that.
You know what?
I'm a giver. I'm a giver, bub.
He's a giver.
It was a giver.
Hey, Jack, why don't you break us down to when we get to the Immaculate Reception?
We touched on this a little bit earlier. Daryl LaMonica gets pulled in the fourth.
Right.
Stabler comes in, breaks off a 30-yard touchdown run to put the Raiders up, man coverage, 7-6 with 1:17 left.
Unbelievable.
Terry and the boys come back out on the field, and then we're faced with fourth down, 10 yards to go from their own 40.
66 circle post.
There it is.
66 circle post.
Right.
In the huddle. What do you think? Do you remember this?
No, I'm just reaching. I'm reaching.
Reaching?
I'm just reaching.
There's no like
No.
before that play or that
no.
drive, like the Joe Montana, you look at John Candy.
We get the
Hey,
ball.
there's John Candy, guys. None of that for Uncle
No,
Terry.
I'm not near as cool as Joe. Joe is supremely confident. I wasn't. Like I told you, I played scared. Man, I played scared because I knew I could lose my job on me either. So I always had an edge about me when I played. But I remember running out on the field, called a pass to the tight end. I'm just trying to get a first down. No good. Called another pass. No good. Called another pass. No, not even. None of them are even close to being completed. And I'm just,
Head scratcher.
you know, and there it is, circle option. Option being to the split end. Safety comes up, go post. He stays back, go corner. And so option right there, and I got to see that. But I got flushed out of the pocket. The reason I got flushed out, God rest his soul, I did an interview with Franco Harris 2 weeks prior to. We did a deal together on this play, and we had so much fun talking about this play. And I never thought he caught the ball, but he did. I actually ended up seeing the picture, and he caught the ball. It's about 10 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
Now, who hit the ball last? The rule back then was if Frenchie touched it last, we can't receive it. It's incomplete. If someone from the Raiders has to touch it after Frenchie, and then we can receive it, and it's our ball. But no, two Steelers cannot in a row catch the ball. So did Tatum hit it last, or did Frenchie hit it last? That was the argument. The way the ball came flying back, you know that there was a collision and that the ball could have very easily come off of Frenchie through the contact from Tatum. That easily could have happened, all right, because Tatum was a ferocious hitter.
Oh, yeah.
So the impetus could have come from the collision that Tatum caused, but did it hit Tatum? I know it hit in there. And if you watch the tape, Frenchie's got his hands like this.
Yeah.
So there's no way you're going to, and the ball was going to be right there, you know. So there's no way that the ball could have hit his hands and bounced so many yards backwards. So the impetus had to come through Tatum. But did Tatum hit this hand and that ball hit this hand and then go? That's what we won't know because we don't have the tape to follow it up. And there was the argument, right? There was, that's an incomplete pass. And so the referees were confused and here it is right here. I guess you got it in slow motion. I'm going outside. I avoided sack. I fired the ball. I hit the ground. I hear the roar of the crowd. I got a couple of Raiders on top of me. I hear the roar of the crowd, and while I'm on the ground, I go, well, excuse me for throwing a perfect pass. Let me see. How many commercials am I going to get out of this? I am a hero to millions. Because you knew the roar. I told you all. You play long enough, you know a roar is a touchdown roar.
Oh, yeah.
You know it.
It's at your stadium.
Oh, that's a touchdown roar. I'm on the ground. Shit, man. Excuse me for being so good. And I stand up and I start jogging. And, yeah, all of a sudden I'm realizing that it wasn't quite as perfect as I thought it was. They're going, boy, did you see the hit? And I mean, hit? What hit? What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, and the ball went flying. What about the ball went flying? What do you mean ball went flying? You mean, yeah, it would bounce back that way. That way? Yeah. Well, how did Franco get it? Nobody knows. He caught it out of the air and ran for. He caught it out of the air and ran for. He's shitting me. It wasn't a perfect thing. Now I'm like pissed. There goes Johnny Carson. There goes my movies. There goes everything I'd hoped for, right down the drain. Then I saw the picture, and I saw Franco later. And we started talking and laughing. I said, 66 says what? You have to block. You stay in and block. You didn't block anybody. He said, yeah. See, I'm having to run because he missed his block. He said, and he's standing there, and he said he learned from Joe at Penn State.
Joe Pa?
Yeah, Joe Pa. Last name.
Paterno.
Yeah, I couldn't think of it. At one of the 75, you get part of a name right. That's pretty good.
You got it to me, Coach.
So Joe Paterno said when the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you run to the ball. It's kind of like Custer. Custer's whole thing was go to the sound of the guns.
Yeah.
That was his thing. That was his philosophy. That made him so daring. And so Franco was taught to go to the pass.
Yeah.
So he took off to the pass, and the ball came back. And that's how he ended up catching the pass. Had he blocked, I would have had time to stand up there and, make the throw. Doesn't mean it had been complete. But Franco's not here anymore, so I can say what I want to say. He can't dispute it.
God rest his soul.
Yeah.
What a play.
Yeah. Then the speed. Catch the ball and outrun everybody.
Now the touchdown wasn't called right after.
No. Well, was it? I don't think they knew what to do. The refs
there was
were confused.
a 15-minute break.
I know. It was ugly. They go to the phone that's at the wall, and
I mean, there's footage of you. There's people like talking to you, grabbing you. The game's not over.
I know.
You guys done.
I know.
I mean, they rushed the field.
Hey, I had the girl. Was I married then? I can't remember. Either my brother-in-law, somebody was on the field hugging me, and he was telling me what happened. It may have been the girl I was dating's brother. I don't know, but anyway, how did he get down there? It was total chaos, and we waited and waited, and there's so many things that have been said. The ref goes, or the guy up in the booth goes, "Hey man, if this ain't a touchdown, we got problems."
Well, Willie Brown.
That's what made John so mad.
Willie Brown said he heard the ref say, "How much security we got?" And then 2 minutes later, touchdown.
One of their tight ends, their backup tight ends, one of our fans hit him over the head with a Coke bottle the night before the game. He had to have stitches.
Old Pittsburgh.
And then
fan.
when we played them out there in the playoff game, they had watered the field down, and the grass was about this long. It was typical Pittsburgh Raiders, man. It was what's so great about it.
Yeah.
Now,
what was the celebration like in the locker room after? Were you guys ecstatic?
I'm sure we were just zonkers,
Yeah.
just shocking. And like I said earlier, our owner, Art Rooney, didn't even see it.
Yeah.
Well, the minute something left, he went down. He left his box and went down to greet us as we went in the door, telling us great season. And then they were down there and the roar and everything, and they were asking what happened. He was told, "You just scored." And he missed the greatest play in history right there at home.
Was the Immaculate Reception the Kickstarter to the dynasty, you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know what happens, Julian? I remember telling my dad before that season started, we're going to play 4 teams that were in the playoffs, and if we could beat 2 of them, then that would convince us that we're on the right path. Because you build a football team, and our team was unlike what they have today. It was built through the draft.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s, you built through the draft because there was no player
free
movement.
agency.
You had to be cut or traded. You
were
had
playing
no
against-
control.
You were playing against Gene Upshaw, who actually made that a rule.
There you go.
Free agency.
So we're built through the draft. So you have all these young players, and then we ended up beating all 4 of those teams during the season. So I knew we were a good football team. Then we beat the Chargers, and then we head home to play in the playoff game.
That had to feel like a huge weight off. Did you feel the weight of?
No, I don't think I felt the weight because
See,
I
that's
hadn't
when
been
you were-
there long enough.
Yeah, when you're
I hadn't been a part of maybe Sam Davis, our left guard, and Ray Mansfield, our center, who'd been there 7, 8 years. Andy Russell at linebacker. They experience the weights off, and I think it's like anything. It's great to be appreciated. It's great to do something that makes people feel good, not only about the team that they love, but about themselves and the city that they're in. So that's where the joy from winning came from, was all the people that felt so good about it.
Yeah.
Including yourself, obviously.
You were in that category of too young to know how big it was.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You know, that's it's almost like a Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
You know, you look at that situation. I know it's different, but like he hasn't been around to know how good he's actually.
He knows how good the 49ers were, and I'm sure when Ben Roethlisberger came into the Pittsburgh Steelers, he was aware that there's a big hole. That, you know, you got to win, and then all the other quarterbacks that followed. So I think Purdy in San Francisco knows about Young, and he knows about Montana for sure.
But the way he's performing, the way you guys were able to go and win this game, the way you handled it, you're like, you don't really know.
No, you don't know. You're not. You don't know. We knew we were good. What I knew for a fact was our defense was amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
Jack Lambert, Kent State.
No, he wasn't there then.
No?
No.
That was 75.
Yeah, this is 72. So those guys just came on later.
Then you got Stallworth after, and what? You got 74, you got Stallworth and
Swan. Yeah.
And some people forget that was like one of the best drafts of all time.
And Donnie Shell. And Lambert, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, there were 4 Hall of Famers in that draft.
What a draft.
Yeah. Yeah. And then some guys that were pretty good. Mike Wagner.
Yeah. You guys, I mean, like you said, you built, that's what it was.
Built
you built your
draft.
team through the draft.
And what Chuck Noll did that was so brilliant, he started, the AFL was built off the black colleges. And the NFL did not go to the black college. They didn't recruit. From my knowledge, my best I know, that's just not where they went for players.
Yeah.
All right? They went to the big schools. Chuck got in a plane, got his pilot license, and they started flying around all these black schools, looking at all these players and going,
Yeah.
Yeah. Then, of course, everything just snowballed, and now, doesn't matter where you go. You know that.
Yeah. Pittsburgh was a pioneer in that whole thing.
Yes, they were.
With the Rooney Rule, and going out and getting scouting the black colleges. I mean, that's a huge part of why our league is our league. How long do you think? What's the longest you think Franco Harris went without having to talk about this game?
I would
6
pretty
hours?
much assume.
5 hours?
Depends on where. If he's traveling, he's talking about it. And him and Frenchie Fuqua. And Frenchie, he's still buttoned up about it.
Yeah.
That's part of their legacy.
Yeah.
Frenchie won't talk. Franco wouldn't talk. Franco never said to his grave. He never said that touched the ground or not. But I did end up seeing finally a picture, and he did catch it up. It didn't hit the ground.
Yeah.
So that was part of the controversy. Did it touch the ground?
Yeah.
Did he trap it? And to help it along, I always said, of course he trapped it. He had terrible hands. He needed help.
Jack, what was the aftermath of this whole thing?
As Terry alluded to earlier, this sparked a big rivalry between Oakland and Pittsburgh, met in the playoffs the next 4 consecutive seasons. Big heated rivalry in the 70s. Pittsburgh would go on to lose to Miami 20-17 in the AFC Championship game. Played in Pittsburgh, as we noted earlier. That was the 72 Dolphins team that went undefeated. Oakland would go on to win Super Bowl 76 and 80 in both those years. They would also draft our man Howie Long.
Yeah. Who wanted to be a Steeler?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Who didn't?
Oh, yeah.
Who didn't want to be part of the Steel Curtain?
His number was 75, and that was Joe Greene's number.
Mean Joe Greene. Yeah. Who's the most famous person in your phone?
Oh, let's see. Bradley Cooper.
Bradley.
Just went to his house a couple of weeks ago, New York. Let's see.
Well, Bradley Cooper just has you at his house. What kind of relationship is this?
Co-stars, baby.
Huh?
Your co-star.
Yeah.
Taylor to lunch.
We became buddies, and he's actually a bigger star than McConaughey now.
Yeah.
And I think, but Julie, I don't even have you in my phone. I mean, you wouldn't take my call anyway.
Well, I would give the shirt off my back for you.
Oh yeah, well, it wouldn't fit.
Probably be too small.
Exactly.
Because you're too jacked.
I'm jacked up.
Jacked up.
Yeah. But
the legacy of this game.
Got to also mention that this also sparked the Steelers' reign of dominance throughout the 70s. 4 Super Bowls in 6 years, 74, 75, 78, and 79. And yeah, we see
Yeah.
The statue of Franco Harris welcoming us at the airport here.
Has been there ever since. I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
Is this the greatest game of all time?
Look, that you're asking the wrong guy that. I mean, I was a part of this amazing play. But who am I to argue with anybody that says there's no other play that can come close to this?
Yeah.
Considering the situation, Steelers, and how they were presented in the NFL and losing ways, and the great owner Rooney and all the controversy around it. There are probably better plays, but there's no controversy.
No.
This is filled with controversy, and that's what makes it great. And if had the Steelers followed this up with just an average year the next year and the next year and just kind of fizzled, it wouldn't be the play.
It's the kickstart.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the kickstart.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next segment final segment, Uncle Terry,
What you got?
where we grade the game.
You grade the game?
You
grade the game?
You grade the game.
Me?
You grade the. Do we have any leftovers?
Okay.
Any leftovers, Jack? Did we miss anything?
Any more memes?
No more memes today, unfortunately. We got to mention it was a 13-7 was the final score.
Got it.
Terry, it looks like you were a married man at the time.
I
crunched
was.
the numbers.
Couldn't have been a good one, though. Sorry, I want to apologize.
Yeah, you gotta apologize. Some things don't work. Look at Kraft and Bill.
We talked about great draft picks. This was Franco Harris's rookie season.
Right.
And I'm no interior decorator, but I did a little research. Marble is generally more expensive than granite.
There you
There
go,
we
bub.
go, baby.
That's why.
Bounty
Bounty, baby. I had a little trouble with the name there for a second.
No, you did.
right,
It's
let's get
perfect.
into
That's
it.
called a perfect pause.
Yeah. Theatrical pause. I'm going to get steaks at high. I give it a 10.
Let's
Is that how
name
you
the
do
game.
it?
The name of the game is the Immaculate Reception. Let's score the game presented by Win Bet. Is this the greatest game of all time? Let's score it. Stakes 1 out of 10.
10.
Decimals okay.
10.
Let's go 10.
Yeah.
Divisional round game.
Divisional round game. We
Not an AFC
Absolutely.
Championship game. Not a Super Bowl.
kickstarted the. This is the kickstart.
Right.
Fucking Kyler, you snarty little punk over there.
Yeah.
There's Terry Bradshaw sitting on the goddamn. He gives it a 10. It's a
You
fucking
can change
10.
it to a 6 after I leave. I don't care. Seems to be your show anyway.
No, this is
no,
your
no,
show, baby.
maybe.
This is your show.
I'm going to give it a 10 simply because that it's the number one play ever is in this stakes for high as ever. And you're right. It's not a Super Bowl, but it is the start of a great dynasty and a great the great competition between us and the Raiders. And not to mention the Raiders, also the Cowboys. All right, because we played them in 2 of the Super Bowls.
It's a first playoff game for the Pittsburgh
Exactly.
Sixburg
Jack.
Steelers.
That's right, baby. I'm backing
Just the
up
gut
here,
check.
Terry.
Just the gut check.
I give it a 10.
Yeah.
Star power 0 to 10. How many Hall of Famers on both sides?
20
19.
19. Well, you'd have to say, and looking back, Star Power's a 10.
10.
10.
Tough to argue with 19 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Now, what's the gameplay 0 to 10, Uncle Terry? Now, this one.
The what?
The gameplay.
The
How
gameplay.
the game played out.
I would give that a 6.
6.
Yeah, that's just.
That's an honest man right there.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a game.
The name of the game.
Immaculate Reception, nothing better than that. But
That is top notch.
nothing comes close.
Nothing comes close.
No, 10.
He just gave me a cowboy look when he said that. Now I know why he's in movies, folks.
That's
you see
right.
that?
Hey, you don't see it again?
Let me see. That's right.
Did you learn that from McConaughey or from Bradley
I
Cooper?
didn't learn that from McConaughey.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I don't think 10's high enough for this game. I don't think we have a
And
number high
then
enough
total it up.
for the name of this game.
What
Comes
is-
out with a 9. That's good.
What is the average? Is a 9?
9. Yeah.
Let's see where it ranks in all the games that we've done.
Oh, wow.
This puts us right in between the 2004 ALCS Game 4 between the Red Sox and Yankees.
Who'd we have? Big Poppy?
That was David Ortiz. And then just above Super Bowl 25, the wide right game, Giants versus Bills. We're sandwiched right in between those.
Really?
With our 9.
I thought, what? There's a lot of great Super Bowl games, but I thought that game, were you with them when they played Carolina?
Nope.
Boy, that was so
that was awesome.
That was the last play, or was that? No, that was
Brady
Ronnie
leading him
Harrison.
down for another field goal.
Vinatieri, yeah.
Yeah,
Ronnie
another
Harrison
50
broke his
yarder,
arm.
48 yarder, or a 50. I forgot which, but yeah.
that was when Madden went on the thing and said that they should probably play for half or for
No, that was the Rams.
overtime.
That was the Rams one.
Was that the Rams one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that
was
was in New Orleans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
let
one
me
was-
tell you about that game. So I'm over there and I'm presenting the trophy. So it looks like Rams have won it. So I'm over there going through now my list: general manager, head coach, who are going to get up there, the players. Here's questions I'm going to ask, and I'm national TV in front of 100 million people. I can't screw this up. So I'm going through that. Touchdown, New England! Oh shit! Now I'm running back across the other side of the field because I'm on the other side. I'm back over there. Grab my New England head coach, general manager, owner, players. We're going to have question.
People don't realize, man.
Oh man, it was
Live TV.
Freaking Brady.
live TV.
They don't call him one take Terry for nothing.
Hey, I'm sitting in the locker room in Green Bay, and I had picked the New York Giants all the way through Dallas and Green Bay. I picked them to win. I'm the only one. So I got them right. Everybody else has been nailing the Giants. I'm the only one. But tell that to the lady that Mrs. Mara that owns the. She didn't know that. She just heard all the. So I'm up there and I'm talking and she's pulling on my pants leg. I didn't know it, and I'm talking and she's like, "You never picked for." I'm like, "Hey, I'm live. I'm talking on TV." I'm like, "Hey."
Ms. Mara.
And then finally, I said, "Kurt, I got some old broad up here." He pulled it on my leg. It is Mrs. Mara. Maybe that was the Super Bowl when she did that. Was it the Super Bowl that made me? Because I remember walking in the crowd in Green Bay, going to the Giants locker room, and it wasn't a good walk. Not good at all. You got to walk through all those owners, girlfriends, players, and all of them. Yeah. But I picked them, so I felt good. But I didn't feel good when I started walking through there.
Not Lambeau.
But yeah, it would have been at the Super Bowl when the Giants. No, that was the playoff game because when they won it in Phoenix, that wasn't part. It was in Green Bay where she was jerking on my pants, and I'm going, "Kurt, some old broad is pulling on my pants."
And she was doing it because she thought you picked against?
Yeah. She
But you
was
picked
mad.
for.
Hey, you've been pulling against. She was mad, and I'm like, "Hey, what did you say? The biggest play was in the hey." Finally, I went. Some old broad is pulling on my pants. Come to find out, Miss Mara. Oh my God, no, this is not good.
She owns the New York Football
Hey,
Giants.
so at the end of the year, I get a really nice letter from her. And she's the sweetest thing in the world. And it became, for a couple of years, kind of a shtick. I talked to Ms. Mara. I didn't talk to Ms. Mara. She's told me Giants are going to win, so I'm going with the Giants. I mean, it kind of became a part of the shtick.
Because you knew she's watching.
Oh, God.
She's obviously watching.
Yeah, it was funny.
Man. Terry, we miss anything about this game?
I don't know. You didn't play any of my music. That upsets me.
How did you? I mean, we wanted to bring your music in, but I didn't. I thought you'd get uncomfortable because we already talked about your two talents, football and acting.
No,
We
music.
didn't-
is my
4 times at the Grand Ole Opry, isn't that right?
4 times.
4
I
times.
operate. 2 gospel albums, both up for a Dove Awards, which is like a Grammy.
What haven't you done?
I haven't
Horses?
I haven't skydived and don't plan on it.
Why not?
I'm scared to death of that.
Are you scared of heights?
Yep, not real good with heights. My wife changes all the light bulbs in the house. I don't climb on ladders.
I don't blame you.
Oh, I'm not getting up. Yeah, 75.
That's how you go down with the hip. That's how you go down with
No,
the hip.
and she's like, you get on that ladder, and as long as I can hold on to something as I'm going up. But man, you'll find out one of these days that, man, when you get old,
It sucks.
petrified to fall. Howie and I talk about the time, I'm falling, man. I don't want to fall. Don't hit me. Don't push me. But no, I've had first of all, I've never had so much fun in doing, I call this an interview, but I've enjoyed this. more than you, because I just think the world of you.
Nah.
I picked up on you right off the bat. I've always liked you, and you're talented as all get out. And this has just been fun. You know, I've just enjoyed it. I hope we clean it up a little bit.
No, we'll be.
I don't
great.
want to be represented by
No,
it, but
we
it
will.
has been so much fun. And I just think, yeah, I like the way you did it. I like the way we kind of circumvented the whole thing and then nailed it on the end. So much fun. I thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate you. You know,
Yeah.
the game is an excuse for us, honestly, just to have a conversation with you about not just your football career, your acting, your in music, horse. It's just cool to get in here and have a legend.
Well, it's nice. It's nice
talk
to
to.
share with everyone that, you know, as you go through life, and I'm definitely on the other side of the hill there, but there's so many things that we all do that people don't know about. I mean, they don't know about my ranches and how many stallions we stand and all the things we do in the horse business, which is so much fun. They don't know about, you know, me singing at the Clay Cooper Theater every year.
Yeah.
Traveling, doing casinos and singing. Singing? Are you kidding me? It's so much fun. I remember when I was doing Vegas, and I used to get so nervous when I did Vegas. And then one night I had the lights come up. I wanted to take a look at this crowd. And when they brought the lights up and I saw all the wheelchairs and the oxygen laying over on the side and people asleep, I just thought, all right, no reason to be nervous. and that set me free. Now, you know, I sing in front of 2,000 or 3,000 people. It doesn't even faze me because I know, number one, they can't hear. Number two, probably can't see. And number three, they're either asleep or they got to pee or they just peed in their pants. And it's just fun, you know. And I'm their age. That's what, and so it just kind of set me free, and I don't get nervous anymore.
He doesn't get nervous anymore, folks. He doesn't
that's
get
obvious.
nervous. That's what I got out of it.
Hey,
Uncle
buddy.
Terry, I appreciate you so much for coming on.
Love you, buddy.
I love you, bro.
Yeah, you're a good man.
Yeah, you're a great man.
Watch this podcast. Hey, by the way, Bounty, thank you.
Boy, that was an awesome show.
Terry, what an absolute legend. Legend.
He's a pro storyteller.
Pro storyteller, Hall of Famer. Our second Hall of Famer, actually. Peyton was our first, I believe.
Man.
Dropping. Oh, I'm hanging out with Bradley
Kurt
Cooper.
Warner too.
I thought
Kurt
it
Warner.
was
Sorry, Kurt.
Kurt Warner.
Sorry. Dropping
I-
stories that he's hanging out with Bradley Cooper like it's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he said he was with Bradley a couple days ago.
Big time. Big time.
It was so cool for me as a teammate too. That was like, you know, Fox teammate. You know, I felt like the guy in the locker room that has a charity event that's probably on like special teams trying to make the team, and fucking the starting quarterback came to my charity
He
event.
shows up at the bowling alley.
He came to my he came to my charity event.
Love him. That was so cool.
Yeah, he was getting on you, Kyler.
I liked it.
He was
liked
getting
it.
on you.
He was. He said, "Don't you interrupt me."
Uncle Terry's about politeness. You got to respect
Uncle
your
Terry.
elders.
Respect, baby.
I love his southern accent when he did the cold open.
What is that voice?
So good.
That was awesome. And dude, like,
Which we haven't heard yet.
No.
No, we did. It's at the end. Never mind.
yeah. And then, I mean, this is like the Immaculate Reception. You don't get much more of a game with name than this.
No.
This is the game. Like,
This is the game with a name.
Yeah.
I'm still shining on having Terry Bradshaw at my house.
so sick. Eating chicken in the back.
See, people didn't see that, but you know, I saw on Fox. I always saw Terry always going for that fried chicken. When Popeyes was in, Terry was in there. All the guys are like, usually coaches are from the South, you know, so they all love that shit. Jimmy Johnson and Terry get that fried chicken. So what I say, I told the team, I was like, yo, we got to have fried chicken waiting for Terry after the show. You know, that's my tip of the cap to the captain.
Veteran move by you on that one. I love it.
Veteran rookie move.
Veteran rookie move.
Veteran rookie move.
gotta know how
always
they
gotta
move in
take
the
care
locker
of the
room.
vets.
Very observant of you as well.
Well, you know, it was a heavy hitter at, you know, you always remember those things. It reminds me back when you're at the locker room and, you know, on Fat Friday, we used to call it, you know, the guys would be going wild during practice because we heard what the catering thing was. Guys were fucking excited. We got our shit.
What was it, like
let's go.
5 Guys, all that stuff?
Yeah.
Like
Billy O'Brien would go, he gets so mad at us if we didn't execute. I know you guys are fucking thinking about your fucking burritos from Chipotle because we got Chipotle in there. But can we get goddamn Zero Out Ride 34, right? Even gets used to your fat fucking Pizza Friday. We all know it. You guys, us coaches, got to go home and sleep after this performance on a Friday. You guys have Fat fucking Friday.
Got stuff-
Yeah, it's great.
got
It's
stuffed
great.
crust on the brain.
Oh my God, Billy O used to get so bad of it. Pizza Friday.
What was the favorite restaurant?
I remember when that whole Popeye craze was coming out with the chicken sandwich. They don't have Popeyes around us, so like I think we had to send someone to like New Hampshire or something to get a Popeyes. The whole team, everyone's in there, fucking critic. This shit's fire. You guys see the Popeyes? We got the chicken sandwich.
Those were not. Those were like.
They were hard to get.
That was like
Muckabutter
hard.
was serving
Dude,
it.
you get in the cold tubs after practice. Guys are sitting there talking about the goddamn food. Oh, you guys get the Popeyes yet? Nah, dude. I'm waiting until after we get my workout in so I can earn it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You gonna get it? Yeah, dude. Yeah, just fucking. I slammed 2 of them right when I came off the field. I'm about to go hit it for a 3rd time. You know, Fat Fridays were the best. So that's why I wanted to get Terry what he wanted. That's a man to man gesture that I pay attention to what you like, big dog.
Hell yeah, it goes a long way.
Man, that was fun. I can't wait for you guys. I can't wait for this one to come out. That'll be fun.
So sick. How about you want to pop into this post show segment?
What segment are you talking about?
Today we're hitting the hotline.
The
Grab
hotline.
bag action, some game wrecks, some musings, some questions.
Well, is this thing named? Is this going to be a regular? Are we going to call this Games with Names Hotline? What is the segment?
I like the Games with Names hotline.
Hit me on my hot. What is the song?
Hotline bling.
Hotline.
I know when that hotline bling. That can only mean one thing. You know,
I know when that hotline bling.
we love Drake. Hey, Drake, come on the show, bro.
See me when you're
Big Scorp.
Come on, Drake. We can talk
Big score.
anything, bruh. I met him once at Nice Guy.
I would have never shaken. I would have never washed my hands if I touched Drake for the rest of my life. Oh, I love him.
He was cool as hell.
He's a beast.
Felt so weird. You feel weird when you have to introduce yourself to someone. We just won a Super Bowl. You're humbled. And
Yeah, but you're just you would introduce yourself to anybody. He knew who you were.
Nah, he knew who I was, but I had to go to his. I went to his table. I wanted to see Drake. We had some limelight. After you win a Super Bowl, you got a shot. You got to take him.
Hell yeah. You know, Big Scorp recognized.
All right, let's get into this segment. Hotline
All
Bling.
right, all right.
Hotline
Again,
Bling.
the
Games
phone
with Names,
number.
Hotline Bling.
Games with Names Hotline Bling. Phone number 424-291-2290.
Hi, this is Jan, aka Edelfan. I have 3 questions. I'll make it fast. You said that you stole the last pair of shoes that Tom wore as a Patriot. I'm wondering if you have the last shoes that you wore as a Patriot.
Jan. Oh, Jan. She's always at everything.
OG, legend.
OG.
Confirmed she bought one of those Forever Foxborough shirts.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Hell yeah.
Confirmed.
Thank you.
We always we love Jan.
Love her.
Any charity event, anything, Jan's there. She got squirrel mask. She
Day
got.
one.
Do I have those cleats? I think I have those cleats somewhere. I think my last cleat. It wasn't a cool game, so I think I have them somewhere, but they're nothing special. My last game was against the 49ers.
Forgot about that.
All right, what's the next one?
I have a question for Julian. Imagine you're lying alone in bed in a dark motel room. You stare at the ceiling and hear the sounds of cars driving by outside your window. A voice from above presents you with a choice. Would you prefer a cold glass of milk or a warm glass of milk? Which glass do you imbibe? And what would your dreams be? Thank you so much.
That's AI.
Maybe.
That sounded like AI.
Or maybe a Canadian.
It sounded Canadian.
They have
Ice
milk in
cold
their
milk.
bags.
First off,
Yes.
What is this? 1930? Does anyone like warm milk?
Oh my God.
Kurt likes warm milk. Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh my.
And then what was the the other one?
And what would your dreams be?
What would my dreams be?
After a nice cold glass of milk in a motel
My
room.
dream now is for my kid to grow up and do something amazing, and just that's my dream now.
I love that.
having her succeed in what she wants.
A1.
Who knew such a bizarre question would have such a nice answer?
Really?
Cold milk, kid go far.
All right, last one.
November 1st, 2008, Lubbock, Texas. The top-ranked Texas Longhorns, led by quarterback Colt McCoy, take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders, led by Graham Harrell and Coach Mike Leach. Rest in peace.
Leach.
This shootout was capped off by a 1 in a million catch, not quite as good as Julian Edelman's Super Bowl catch, but pretty dang good. This is the fill in the game with name here. This is your boy Dallin from Pennsylvania. Jackie, Kyler, you guys rock. Love you guys.
Right on.
What was our guy's name?
I believe that's
Dallin Yo.
Dallin Yo from PA.
Dallin.
Hell yeah. Dude, if you're going to call in with a game wreck,
That's the way you
That's
got to
how
do
you
take
it.
notes.
Yeah.
He did the cold open. He did the games with names, films, type,
That was sick.
open.
And he hit him with a Raiders.
Red Raider. Rocky, I'm not talking to you, Rocky. Rocky. Look at Rocky got a haircut because he got all dreaded up.
Looking good.
All right, no more. What so what was the question?
He was just recommending that
Oh,
we do
yeah,
the 2008 Texas versus.
We got to figure it out. Maybe
do
we
that.
get Colt McCoy and Cliff King. Oh, is Cliff there? No.
Was he there? Was this the Michael Crabtree game?
2008. When was Dola there?
Dola, that was the year Dola got drafted.
Okay, so this was after him. So Dola might have a hookup.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's a
Hey,
good one.
PA, what's his name?
Dallin.
Dallin. That's a cool name.
I think he sent us like a cool hockey jersey.
You got a hockey jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the Michael Crabtree game where he caught it on the sideline and he
Yeah, it was a great
broke the
game.
tackle.
Great
That's
game.
awesome.
He got
Cool.
drafted top 10 because of that.
39-33
He
Texas
balled
Tech
that
or
year,
Texas
right?
Tech won.
Crabtree in college.
Dude,
was-
Crabtree Sherman game would be so sick.
yeah,
Who's
we'll try to get that in there.
Hell yeah.
Hey, for anyone else, whoever recommends a game, come on. Hey, there's a standard now.
Come correct.
As Mike Tomlin said, the standard is the standard. Okay? I don't understand it, but it sounds great.
It does. Good Steelers callback too since the Steelers game.
Man, what an episode that was. Thanks again to Uncle Terry. Legend. And that's been another episode of Games with Names presented by WinBet. Remember to follow Games with Names on YouTube, Instagram, X, and Snapchat.
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 My face.
Is that the Jewish version of Snapchat?
Oh, Kyler. Oh, get at him in the comment section. We'll see you guys next week. Games with Names is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.